Weingart. They were shot and killed at the Sports Page bar. Gina Weingart worked there. Police department says they are holding someone on unrelated charges, but they are looking into that person's possible connection with the murders. Construction of the Baird Center downtown Milwaukee scheduled to be complete in about 6 weeks. The new convention center expansion will offer more space and more amenities. Wisconsin Center CEO Marty Brooks telling WTMJ his team got design ideas by touring other convention centers across the country.
15 of us went on a 4-city tour over 2 weeks and looked at other cities, saw things that they had that we didn't have, and we incorporated them into the design to make sure we're competitive.
Brooks says they've already scheduled out conventions as far as 2030. To see the Wisconsin Morning News tour of that construction site, just text the word tour, T-O-U-R, to the WTMJ talk and text line 855-616-1620. Training yourself to identify phishing emails, more important than ever in this digital age. SysLogic CEO Tina Chang telling Wisconsin's Morning News.
Those phishing attempts and the training, I know that they could be annoying, but they're good. They're trying to build your muscle memory to be suspicious. Yeah. We need to protect both individually and our companies because once there's one person in, there's mold in the house. And it's spreading.
Chang says growing awareness and increased education are two of the biggest tools everyone can use to fight against cyber crime. In Washington, House Speaker Mike Johnson announced today the House is going to move forward with an aid package for Israel separate from funding for Ukraine and funding for the U.S. border.
The supplemental seems to be on life support in the Senate. We just can't wait any longer. And so that's why you heard that we're going to move forward on the Israel package. The clean standalone. Yeah,
the U.S. Senate has not even voted yet on that border/Ukraine/Israel funding compromise bill, highly touted as bipartisan. Wisconsin Senator Ron Johnson says that bill may not even pass in his chamber.
I think this bill is dead, is unfortunate, because every Republican I know serving in Congress wants to secure the border. And we had a real opportunity to do so.
The bill would provide aid funding for Ukraine and Israel in exchange for tougher immigration restrictions. Time for news about your money. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow Jones Industrial Average is up more than 90 points right now to 38,472. The S&P 500 is down a bit, less than a point, to 4941. And the NASDAQ at 15,544. That is down about 54 points. It's a great time for your retirement and investment strategy review from a fee-only fiduciary. Go to annexwealth.com and click on the Get Started button now. Sports, traffic, weather are next. Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 12:04.
Our mission is to protect and uphold our reputation. At Semper Fi, it's the banner we all march under, because the reputation we earn and uphold belongs to all of us. And without a strong reputation in the exterior remodeling business, you're here today and gone tomorrow. And when you've earned a good reputation, that's what makes the difference in value. It's the little extra that you get for the price. And that assurance is actually what counts the most, because it means the good money you're spending with us is not going to go to waste. A roof you can rely on, with a warranty that has a backbone. Craftsman quality airtight window and door installations. Brick and stone masonry that's clean and sharp. And new siding that's been known to stop traffic. And it's all backed by a team that over the last 20 years have put a lot of heart and soul into building a reputation that you can believe in. This is Brad Youngluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
Hi, folks. This is Hank Albert, owner of BBC Lighting. With the weather getting colder, our prices get even hotter. And at our showroom, you'll see all the top brands of lighting and ceiling fans, such as Visual Comfort, Monte Carlo, and more. Our new in-store visual technology will allow you to find every light and fan from every major brand, including their price and description. And our prices are always the lowest. I guarantee it. If it's lampshades or repairs you need, we do all that too. There's something for everyone at BBC, including fun for Dad and the kids, and our famous free popcorn. BBC is open Monday through Saturday and is located at 20th and St. Paul Avenue, across from Sobelman's and Bachman Furniture, all near the Potawatomi Casino. Stay safe and healthy, my friends.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update.
The Milwaukee Bucks season-long 5-game West Coast road trip is finally set to come to a conclusion tonight. After a loss in Utah Sunday and struggling a bit as of late, even losing 3 of their last 4 games, the mindset and belief hasn't changed with the Bucks' 2-time MVP in Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Right now, it doesn't matter, and I hope everybody in this locker room feels the same way that I feel. It does not matter. There's so many things that we are doing right now that we are getting better.
Milwaukee is in Phoenix tonight to take on the Suns for the first of 2 matchups on the season. Tip-off is set for 9 p.m. Over to the NFL, where Commissioner Roger Goodell announced on Monday that the Philadelphia Eagles will play host to the NFL's first regular season game in Brazil. Their opponent for that game is yet to be determined. And lastly, according to Kylie McDaniel of ESPN, the Brewers are in agreement with free agent right-handed pitcher Jacob Junis. The deal, which is still pending a physical, is for a 1-year, $7 million. I'm Brandon Snide, WTMJ Sports.
Johnson & Sons Paving time-saver traffic update. Largely a smooth drive on the freeway system in the metro Milwaukee area. Downtown to the zoo running at 5 minutes. If you're headed out of the city, Zoo to Highway 16 on I-94 is running at 11 minutes, and 4145 northbound from the zoo to Highway Q at 14 minutes.
Traffic is sponsored by Hall Mazda Milwaukee. Visit hallmazdamilwaukee.com.
Be our eyes on the roads. Report accidents, slowdowns, and road conditions to the WTMJ Hall Mazda traffic tip line at 414-238-9329.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. That morning fog, a thing of the past. Afternoon sunshine for us today and a high of 44 degrees. Mostly cloudy tonight with a low down to 32. Wednesday's high 48 under mostly cloudy skies. Thursday could be near a record high temperature of 54 degrees, mostly cloudy with a chance of showers. Friday, we have a slight chance of showers in the morning. Friday's high expected to be 53, again near a record high for that date. Saturday, mostly cloudy, breezy, and a bit cooler, high of 42. Right now in Madison, 37. Green Bay at 37. 38 in Waukesha. And in Milwaukee, we're at 41 degrees. I'm Vince Vitrano, Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 12:08.
It's the middle of the day on WTMJ. Come join the conversation on the WTMJ Talk and Text line at 855-616-1620. Now here's Sandy Maxx and Toya Washington.
Good morning, or good afternoon. Press that one button right there.
One button. You gave it to me
the on button. There we go. Now we're there.
See? Put me in front of a camera, I'm fine. You put me in front of these buttons.
I did. I put you in front of an entire radio board.
That's right. Someone else needs to be in charge of me because I can't. Okay.
You're good now.
I'm good now.
I'm so glad you're here.
I'm glad to be here. It's been too long.
It's been a minute. How's your 2024 going so far?
You know, I haven't, I don't do resolutions. I do intentions. And I would say that I'm about 50-50 on the intentions.
Are you, what intentions are going right?
The intentions that are going right is that I am doing a better job about being regular about working out.
Ooh, good.
So that's good. I'm trying to be more conscious about cleaner eating. Mm-hmm. With 2 kids in sports and running from pillar to post, sometimes, you know, the drive-through is the most easy. So
I always find the mindful eating preparation is key.
It is, but what I would prep for myself versus what my kids and husband might eat would
a little different. Are you the more mindful? Are you the bag of bugles, or are you the cut up carrots?
I'm the more mindful.
Very good.
And they do a very good job, but it can be a challenge.
Plus, you get to set that example. That's the mom.
Plus, they don't like leftovers. So that is also the struggle. Yeah, that struggle is real. So now I did get into a habit of just freezing it, so the next time that I don't feel like cooking, it's new to you food.
Right. Yeah, they just don't know. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I was slaving away all day while you were at school. Mm-hmm. And here's your meatballs
and all of your
Pasta.
extracurriculars.
Yep.
So two healthy things so far.
2 healthy things. And the other one that I'm not doing a very good job at is that I swore that I was going to just pick away at purging. Like really, like I'm pretty good about being that person that throws things out, like and trying to live a more minimalistic life. But then I feel like it's an ongoing, and like, I don't know if that intention will ever be
I was just going to say, I think it's always, especially you do not live alone. You have 3 other beings who are bringing things in. It's so easy to accumulate.
It really is.
In a short amount of time.
It really is. Right now I have an huge IKEA bag and a huge duffel that is headed out the door of clothing from my kids or my clothing which that's a whole nother half hour we could talk about.
Well, Toya, you're a fun follow on all the social media, but I did see you on Facebook. Was it October that you were doing your regular, inspiring? I hesitate to say purge. That just sounds so harsh.
But it's not harsh. It's a gentle purge. I was trying to find 10 items a day to leave my house. And I was very busy at the end of the month. I emceed an event for the Wisconsin Development Economic Corporation. And so I was out of town and out of pocket for a while. And then all of a sudden, I think it just died on the 22nd.
But again, that was 3/4 of a long month that you were able to get things out of your house that you realized you don't need.
Yes.
That you're
and there are
holding on to.
multiples of things, or they're,
What were some of your favorite things to see leave?
To be honest, this is really weird. One of the first things that I purged was the nail polish.
Oh,
like, why do I have so many? I very rarely do my nails, first of all. Second of all, I came across, and I am not a paid sponsor for this, and I don't understand why there's not more people using it, but it's called Dazzle Dry.
Dazzle Dry.
And there's extra steps to it. So it is 2 steps of, a base layer, 2 steps of a color, and the top coat goes on, and your nails are dry in 5 minutes.
Ooh.
Done. And this is, like the one I have on today is 2 weeks old. So why do I have like 17 bottles of everything from Wet n Wild to OPI? So that was an easy one. I think I got rid of 20 in that purge.
And then also the thing about if you get a manicure, then that's kind of like self-care. You go, you get a hand massage.
Yeah.
The manicure is good. You're taking care of yourself, and it's a treat.
Mm-hmm.
And it lasts for a while.
Exactly.
When you're painting your nails at home, somehow then you have to figure out how to be still. Like you said, even for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, that's when I didn't want to wash the dishes, but I want to wash them now.
Yes.
Like all the things
but that's
that you
the beauty.
can't do.
Yes, that's the beauty of this Dazzle Dry stuff is that like within 5 minutes, it is legit. Now, am I going to go bang around dishes, or am I going to go fold clothes? Not exactly, but I mean, I can sit for 5 minutes and like read an article and read an article that I read the first 2 paragraphs of and then got distracted. So I can
5 minutes we can pause.
Exactly.
I feel like we're always on the go.
Mm-hmm.
So good for you for getting rid of some nail polishes. Have you now acquired new ones though since October?
No, I've been really pretty. Yeah, no, I haven't gotten any new ones.
I'm surprised that your daughters didn't jump on that. I remember
they were not at home when I got that was very intentional.
I would say that's very key also, because that's the other thing where it's hard enough to make the decision to get rid of something for me.
Yeah.
I either have a sentimental attachment to it, or I think someone can use it, and I want to hold on to it till I find that right person who will really enjoy it.
Yes. And most of these were like, they were old and they were goopy, and
that's what I said.
when you
like can't even get the twist to twist.
It was time for them to leave.
Good for you. But it's bad enough for me to make the decision if I finally made the decision and then somebody walks by and goes, oh, like there's a sweater, a mint green sweater that I was finally like, oh, it doesn't really fit. And Mike walked by and went, oh, I really like that sweater. I was like, well, it comes back. And I'm like, oh, see, I'm wearing it. So had he not known.
That's funny, because that's one of the other intentions that I've been doing is that I have a closet full of clothes. Now, first of all, like there's a whole section of like on-air dresses that I don't, why do I have them?
Well, and by the time you need them again, let's say all of a sudden you become the on-air queen again, will they be in style? And then you'll be
Likely
critiqued.
Not.
Yeah, you'll be critiqued like, oh, that's so 2019.
She wore that yes, exactly, in 2019. Now, I've tried to pull out things like the sweater vest thing that I'm wearing today. I'm like, why don't I wear that? So
yeah, I told you do chilly cute. Yeah.
I pull things that I'm like, why don't I wear that? And then I wear it. And right now I am losing weight, sweating in it.
Oh,
so this is why I don't wear this.
I have layers because Vince Vitrano was just making fun of me about how many clothes I have. So my black sweater is on the back of this chair. If you want to, in a commercial break, take off the sweater
maybe
and switch out.
I might consider that.
We could trade clothes around.
All right.
We also want to know what you've been up to in the professional sense, because I know a lot of people miss seeing you on TV. So more with me, Sandy Maxx, and Toya Washington next on WTMJ.
Hey, Vince Vitrano.
And Eric Bilstead here from Wisconsin's Morning News.
Join us all week long. We're going to be giving away Barry Manilow tickets to the show coming up in Milwaukee at Fiserv Forum.
Looks like we made it.
Saturday, August 3rd is the show.
It's a night of singing along to your favorite tunes with the man himself. We'll be giving tickets away every day. Just be sure you're listening to Wisconsin's Morning News.
We'll do it all week right here on WTMJ. The show's on 6 to 9 every morning. It's Barry Manilow at Fiserv Forum on Saturday, August 3rd.
According to the U.S. debt clock, our debt is over $32 trillion and climbing. The question is, how do we pay it off? One of the most likely answers is increasing taxes. Now think about your retirement accounts. Do you want to pay taxes on some of that money now when rates are historically low, or later when rates are potentially higher? At Drake & Associates, we can help you create a plan so your retirement is tax efficient as possible. If you'd like to continue your education, we have our Retirement Ready Toolkit, which includes guides on retirement tax savings. To receive this complimentary toolkit, call or text TAX to 414-409-9982. That's calling or texting TAX to 414-409-9982. When taxes go up, will you be ready? Call or text now.
Investment advisory services provided by Drake & Associates, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Insurance products are offered through a separate company, Loft Financial Advisory Group, LLC, a Wisconsin insurance agency. Clients are under no obligation to purchase any recommended insurance products.
WTMJ's John Mercure here for senior real estate specialist Bruce and Jean Nemovitz. If you've been holding off on selling your home or downsizing your parents' home, now's the time to contact Bruce and Jean. You deserve to enjoy the lifestyle you've earned. Learn how their team will guide you every step of the way. Join me at their free in-person seminar, March 5th, Berner Botanical Gardens. Doors open at 8:30, and you'll get critical info from local senior community representatives. Register at brucesteam.com, taking you from overwhelmed to I can do this. brucesteam.com.
Just like most cars and trucks can't run without oil, no person can function without food. That's why, through the end of February, the Auto Dealers of Metro Milwaukee is contributing $1 from every oil change to Feeding America Eastern Wisconsin. Every dollar provides 3 healthy meals. Over the past 13 years, Adam has provided more than 2.4 million meals to people in southeastern Wisconsin. And now, the need is greater than ever. Find a participating Adam dealer near you at adamm.com.
It's not men at work today.
No.
It's women on the radio
Women.
today. I'm Sandy Maxx with Toya Washington till 3 o'clock on WTMJ today. Thanks so much for joining us. We're going to touch on some topics of the day. It's Safer Internet Day, so we're going to explore that topic, especially with Toya as a mom. That's a whole different level of...
That's a full-time job, girl.
Yeah, no doubt. So we'll talk about that. Ryan Jay, entertainment journalist, is going to join us, not just on some light and fluffy subjects, but just the state of some of the things in the entertainment business today and other topics. You're always welcome to join us on the WTMJ Talk and Text line. That's 855-616-1620. 1620. We do have a question for you, Toya, on the Talk and Text line, but I want to, it's a fun one.
Okay.
I'll let you know. And it's
right.
one that you have a passion for. So I'm excited to get to this question. But I want to ask you, again, people loved watching you on Channel 12 for so many years. And you know how it is when you're on television. You're in someone's living room.
I'm a guest in their living room.
Yeah.
Yes, that's how I...
you have a lot of people who miss you, who you were part of the rhythm of their life and a trusted part of their life. So what have you been up to now since you're not in people's living rooms?
Well, hopefully my effect is in people's living rooms. So now I am a coach for Morgan Murphy Media, and they own stations dotted all over the place. So Madison, La Crosse, Eau Claire Market, Spokane, Yakima, Kennewick, Joplin, Missouri, Victoria, Texas. So right now what I do is I coach their on-air talent as well as their producers, trying to encourage them to become better writers, better presenters, how they can just really engage in the community. And I still feel like it's a service. What I did and what I do with them now is that we are here to serve a community. How can we best serve them? How can we best get our messages across? How can we become better, true journalists?
And
so
communicators.
That's and communicators.
A wonderful skill.
So it's been eye-opening. especially with the newer generation, most of them are, MMJs. So they shoot, they edit, they write, they are doing all of it.
MMJ, multimedia journalist. So yeah, it's one-man band.
It's one-man band, which is
one-woman band.
Yes, which is not what we were accustomed to doing when we went through journalism school. And that was, you found your lane and then you excelled in that lane.
Yeah. And it was, I always joked that I got into radio because television was such a team sport. Because radio, for the most part, if I shine and I did a good job, it's because
you did it from
did
top to bottom.
And if I stunk, it was on me.
Yeah.
I wasn't prepared or, or I didn't run the board well. Like, okay, I can live with that. Ride or die, it's me.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas the TV world, when I was doing student media at Marquette, I was working on putting together the MTV VJ demo tape. I was like, this is going to be great. I'm going to send it to New York. And I had blonde frosted hair at the time. And one of my best buds was doing lighting and lit me so that my hair it wound up looking green on camera.
Oh.
Not a rock and roll punk rock green. And I looked sallow. And I'm like, you live and die by the attention of, the weakest link on the team.
Exactly.
So I'm like, okay, my destiny should not be in other people's hands. So in that time, in the 90s and the 2000s, before digital media became so prevalent like it is now, you really did. You worked on a team. You went out with a photographer and videographer.
Exactly.
And now, it really is
which has been
up to one person to deliver that.
Been trying to wrap my brain around it because I'm like, I couldn't do what they do now. Like, I knew that I could pick up a camera. I can compose good shots. I hated editing. Couldn't stand it. Could never get the rhythm down right.
And that's its own way of storytelling.
Exactly.
Lining up the shots to lead you into a story and show you what the most powerful visual points of that story is.
Exactly.
So it's interesting for you to go, that wasn't my strong suit.
That wasn't my strong suit.
I didn't love it.
And now, with the way journalism is being taught in schools, they are taught from beginning to end that you need to be this multimedia journalist, that you need to have these skills, you need to have these tools in your toolbox. And that's how a lot of people, I should say, are entering the field now. And when I would have these conversations with these new journalists, I'm just like, so, what do you love about it? What do you hate about it? Blah, blah, blah. And I explained, this is not something I'm accustomed to.
Mm-hmm.
So why, do you look to go to a market where, it is a team sport? And one of them looked at me and were like, why would I want anyone else shooting the video I want, getting the sound bites that I want, putting my story together? Like, I like to have that full creative control. And I was like, it was a light bulb moment. I was like, you just blew my mind. You are 20-something years old and you just blew my mind. Like that, and that's how the approach is for many incoming journalists.
And I love that you're coaching these younger journalists who are fresh out of school and they learn things there, but you know how it is in any field.
Mm-hmm.
There's what you learn in school, and then you're in the office, and then you're in the field. No matter what field that you're in, it is still different when you're in practice. And how many times have we worked with younger employees who, you joke and rib, and you're the rookie and you don't know, but unless they have a great manager, who's really teaching those people to be better, either just flat out better employees with good habits and work ethic and social skills, or excelling at their jobs. And now you hear it everywhere. Everybody's got so much to do that you're so busy that nurturing and air checking talent is not always on there.
And I think that was one of the appealing things to me, is because there is that need out there. And while, those of us who were in newsrooms or continue to be in newsrooms who have 10, 15, 20 plus years experience, that has become part of the job. Has it been recognized as such when it comes to an annual raise or whatever? And we don't do it necessarily. We're not teaching the next generation, for financial gain, but to be recognized that you're doing it and to be compensated for it is, even better. So for me, it's the combination of like, I'm doing something that's giving me that news fix, and I'm doing something that I feel truly is making a difference, and I'm doing it kind of on my own terms.
Mm-hmm.
And although I am not a trained coach, like I didn't go to a coaching...
The certification world.
Yes,
But it's also, but you've got the, street cred. You've got the experience. You've got the decades in, and you've still got the open mind to see over the decades how it has evolved instead of just digging in and going, nope, this is how it should be done. And you can see the evolution. And I love that you're getting something out of the media coaching as well.
It's fun.
And that hopefully we'll have, and especially with journalism being so important, not just during an election year, but anytime.
Exactly.
We have more fun questions. We're going to get to a question about one of the teams that Toya Washington is most passionate about. That is next on WTMJ.
Wake up with me. Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik. Tune in every Monday and Friday at 8:15 for Matzik's Morning Minute during Wisconsin's Morning News. Everything you need to know about all your favorite Wisconsin teams in just 60 seconds. Picked up by Lillard, lobs to Giannis, who thumps it down on the alley-oop. Every Monday and Friday at 8:15 during Wisconsin's Morning News.
Coaching in the arena and your jerseys hanging above you, I can turn to the players and say, guys, I swear to God, I play basketball. Just look up.
Sponsored by Holiday Automotive in Fond du Lac.
What is evangelism?
Luther says it's simple. The gospel is a story about Jesus. He wrote, "Before you take Christ as your example, accept him and recognize him as a gift, as a present that God has given you and that is your own."
Dr. Michael Ziegler this week on The Lutheran Hour.
The Lutheran Hour, Sunday mornings at 6:30 on WTMJ.
The next time they ask you what size tires you need, just go to richlawns.com.
That's Richlawn spelled with 2 N's.
No more trying to read that tiny writing on the side of your old tires or on the inside of your car door.
Just go to richlawns.com, click on the year button, then the make and model of your vehicle, and
the exact tire size you need.
In a multitude of brands and styles.
Yet all specific to your vehicle, because at Richlawns, there isn't a tire on the planet we can't get.
And every tire we install automatically comes with free flat tire repair, which means you're 100% covered, no questions asked.
The next time you're due for tire service, visit richlawns.com.
Because free flat tire repair automatically comes with every tire we install.
I'm Brett Matchke with Richlawns. You're due for service.
Since 1964, we've changed your tires and so much more. Richlawns Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Richlawns.
I know you have a great dog, right? But you know there's room for improvement. At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we can help. Our attention-based training system uses modern technology to help you better communicate with your dog, even in high distraction. When you schedule a free consultation with us, you will have the opportunity to see our training in action and meet for yourself our happy dogs off leash and under control. Contact Sit Means Sit today at 262-361-3641 or find us on the web at sitmeansitwaukesha.com to schedule your free consultation so you can have a happy, confident, and obedient dog.
WTMJ, I'm Sandy Maxx and Toya
You dug
Washington.
deep for that one. I love it.
In the studio today till 3 o'clock. You can watch on the YouTube channel. Go to WTMJ.com and watch live because
He is speaking my love language in there.
There we go. Producer Aaron, I let him know that we had a question on the WTMJ Talk and Text line for Toya. You are welcome to join the conversation anytime. 855-616-1620. And I let Aaron know, hey, we've got a Bucks question coming up. Because, Toya, you are one of the biggest Bucks fans that I know.
Love them, love them, love them. Love them.
Your thoughts when Doc Rivers was announced?
I was thrilled.
Yay.
Yes, I felt like he was someone that should have been in contention before. I'm very
kind
happy.
of a homer. When I know that I'm a homer when it comes to sports. Like, I loved it when Robin Yount was a bench coach and Swaim was a third base. I just love that homer. And I loved having Craig Counsell here for that reason. Yeah. Whitefish Bay all the way, So I know that for better or worse, I love that homer angle.
Yes.
So, yeah.
They understand the culture. They understand the city. They understand the community. So, and then to bring sports on a national stage as Milwaukee has become with the Bucks, like to have someone that is that Milwaukee advocate coaching the team is
and we Marquetters are also quite thrilled. Quite thrilled.
Of course.
That Doc Rivers is in the house. The question from the WTMJ Talk and Text line, Toya, will you be upset if the Bucks trade Bobby?
Yes.
Who wouldn't be?
Yes.
His great energy.
Yes. I'm still getting over Drew Holiday's departure. Like still, like I love Drew, his wife Lauren, the fact that they were really big community members, what they did outside the court, what she did off the pitch, because she was a professional soccer player, and what they've done for the Milwaukee community. So that was a hard pill to swallow from a business standpoint. Breaking it down, it made sense. I get it. But still, like, and I'm like you, like the homer, like I get attached to these people, and we all do, like, especially someone like Bobby. I mean, I have a Bobby t-shirt. Like,
do you have a Bobby headband?
No,
there we go. That's the next step.
That's the next step. I feel bad. I don't feel bad. I tease because for some reason I can yell Bobby's name at a pitch that most people I don't think can.
Oh my!
My kids hate it when I do it, but I feel like he knows when I'm there.
Should you stand on that side of the room and just belt it out?
I feel like maybe we should test it in a commercial break to see if it's gonna deafen our producer.
Producer Aaron, you had something when we talked about Bobby Portis.
Yeah, I'm a Bulls fan, and as a Bulls fan, I can tell you that trading away Bobby Portis, it doesn't feel good. It stinks. I love Bobby, and I was so sad when we traded him, and now watching him do all these great things in Milwaukee, it hurts. So, yeah, I hope for your own sake, Toya, that you don't have to go through what I went through.
I can't do it again.
Give him a shout.
Yeah, I can't. Bobby. Actually, I have a picture on Twitter with me and Bobby Portis.
Yeah.
Yes, my kids encouraged me because I got his jersey for Christmas. And so I wore it to the game, and we were walking in, and it was just so happened that he was like signing, stuff for kids.
I would say for children.
Yeah, for children. And I walk by, and my kids are literally shoving me in the back. They're like, go get a picture. Go talk to him. And I'm like, like in this business, that wasn't really, you don't do that. Like it's not. You're
for all the meet and greets I've done in the rock and roll world, I always hang back. Like it is not for.
It's not about you.
Me.
It's not about me.
Yeah.
Right. But then I'm like, wait, I'm not doing this. This is about Bobby. I'm doing this because I love Bobby Portis. So yes.
How fun that you're a big fan and a bit starstruck.
I feel like I can talk to anyone, and I get in front of some of these players, and I'm like, like I just have no self-control. I mean, I guess
that's all right.
I can rein it in. The Bobby moment, I was like, hi, Bobby.
Good. When did you first become a Bucks fan?
Actually, I'll get to it the quickest way I can. A friend of mine who we serve on the board for the School of Journalism introduced us, my husband and I, to Peter Fagan. And here's the gotcha. She said, hey, I have a friend that's moving to the Milwaukee area. He'll throw himself into his work and he won't meet anybody. So could you please, take him out to dinner, just chat him up, like just so he gets some social. So I'm like, oh, yeah, sure. And she was like, his name's Peter. I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, and so we meet, we're about to go out.
And he's going to throw himself into his work and be a hermit.
Yes. And then like a week before the dinner, I'm like, I should probably do a little, it was probably more than a week before the dinner. All of a sudden I'm like, oh my gosh, Shoshana, why did you do this to me? Like now I'm like,
pressure's on.
Yes. Yeah. And she's like, but he needs people in his circle that like, have lived here and, whatever.
That can kind of Sherpa him and let him know that he's made the right choice to come to Milwaukee. And here's some great ways to enjoy the city.
Yes. So that was, and the first game that I went to after he became the president, we were sitting there and I was with a girlfriend of mine and her son and my daughter. And like he came up and, threw a bunch of like goodies at the kids and, they just had an absolute ball. We came back all charged up. And then my husband's like, well, what's, like he grew up in Duluth, Minnesota. Like hockey is everything, right? My husband never really watched NBA and he is fanatical now. Like it's fun to watch, but at the same time, like he is studying the other teams and who's being traded and what this is about and what that is about. I'm like, okay, like I thought we were just going to be like Bucks fans. And I mean, he is a Bucks fan, but it was like
much more analytical, statistical
he has
Bucks
thrown
fan.
himself all the way.
That is wonderful. Well, I'm sure the Bucks appreciate it. So as much as you and your husband love the Bucks, something you love even more.
Oh boy.
Your daughters.
Yes.
And I want to get into a very important topic that Wisconsin's Morning News touched on earlier today, Safer Internet Day, and how to find resources to accomplish the safer internet and what those challenges are as a parent.
Yeah.
As we all get the phishing emails at work and we try and navigate as adults. What it's like as a parent. So we're going to discuss Safer Internet Day next on WTMJ.
Heart disease won't stop us. Diabetes won't slow us down. Allergies, high blood pressure, shoulder pain, cancer. Nothing will keep us from pushing Wisconsin ahead. Because with the Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network, forward progress is what we stand for. That means always pushing and always innovating. With new technologies and breakthrough treatments that make life better, whether we're sick or well. It means providing more convenience and more ways to receive medical excellence for all your health needs, for big and small. It means being there for you, our family, caring for yours. So let's keep raising the bar. Let's keep testing the limits of what medicine can do. Let's push ahead and make life here as great as it can be. Visit Freighter.com to find out how.
Our mission is to protect and uphold our reputation. At Semper Fi, it's the banner we all march under, because the reputation we earn and uphold belongs to all of us. And without a strong reputation in the exterior remodeling business, you're here today and gone tomorrow. And when you've earned a good reputation, that's what makes the difference in value. It's the little extra that you get for the price. And that assurance is actually what counts the most, because it means the good money you're spending with us is not going to go to waste. A roof you can rely on, with a warranty that has a backbone, Craftsman quality airtight window and door installations, brick and stone masonry that's clean and sharp, and new siding that's been known to stop traffic. And it's all backed by a team that over the last 20 years have put a lot of heart and soul into building a reputation that you can believe in. This is Brad Youngluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semper Fi.
WTMJ. Okay, Toya and I are both grooving to Duran Duran. Toya Washington and Sandy Maxx here till 3 o'clock, talking a variety of topics, including Safer Internet Day, which is today. And it is a topic that caught my eye because it's something we all deal with. We're always on our phones. And this is the day that 100 countries around the world are coming together to raise awareness about the benefits and the risks of connected technology, which is just a part of our lives now. And looking for resources, ways to monitor what you're looking at, what your kids are looking at, how addictive it is. But Toya, when you and I were going to get together, I know how challenging it is for me to discern even scrolling through Instagram and getting an ad that pops up. And it was the most recent one was Jennifer Aniston, and almost all of the ads that I get are for some anti-aging cream. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to give in. Okay, and that's fine. But it was Jennifer Aniston, and it was like a voice like this.
Do you think with the anti-aging cream, I'm laughing at this because I'm like, with so much face recognition, do you think that's what they have figured out? Like, oh she's got some crow's feet. Let's drop.
It's highly likely.
She's got the 11s between her eyes. Let's drop some.
Yeah. CeraVe
moisturizing,
You're
firming.
Right. Well,
I don't know.
We've talked about that before.
Yeah.
Where if you and I, like now that you've said CeraVe or joking around about Stanley Cups and big, you will get an ad on your phone or on the Google. I said Google on purpose, but I feel like these devices are already
How do I
hearing
make
us.
a quick $3 million?
Exactly. Let's manipulate the algorithms.
Exactly.
But I think we've all had those kind of spooky moments where we've wondered, am I now getting an ad online, whether it's on my phone or on the screen on my laptop, because I just talked about this?
Absolutely.
I know we've all had those moments. And I don't even have a smart speaker at home, so I'm not even shouting at Alexa or Siri or anybody. So I know that those things have happened before. And I'm a Luddite. Don't even have a smart TV. So my TV isn't watching me either. So, but I know my phone is, but you're right. So AI and things that you can't believe on the internet are always there. So even as a smart adult, I feel like the safer internet can be a challenge.
Yes.
But now, Toya, as a mom, You
That's
have
a
two
whole-
teenage daughters.
Yes.
What are some of the things that you do think are effective in helping your daughters on social media?
Well, we've had, so the first thing that I did for myself, and it was long before the kids were even old enough to be on the internet or have a phone, was go to a viewing of Screenagers. Screenagers, yes. I think they have 2 out, and actually the kids saw this in school too, and it just talked about the dangers online and who you can trust and who you can't, and why you shouldn't be in chat rooms and so on and so forth. But it scared the behoovies.
So it was a documentary.
It was, yes. So
Okay.
That was probably the first thing that it was like, okay, we need to monitor this as parents, right? With their cell phones, they both have cell phones now. We have access to everything, period. You hand over your phone. If we find that you are doing stuff online under a different name, under blah, 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 like you lose the privilege, period. Point blank.
And what age do you start to have that conversation?
Well, with our now 17-year-old, I think she got her phone at 14, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And we had that conversation, or actually maybe she got it at 13. And then at 14, we let her pick 2 social media platforms,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I was like, Snapchat.
What do teenagers choose now?
They choose, and what they get are 2 different things. I do not trust, personally, Snapchat at all. That's the devil's playground as far as I'm concerned, among especially tween and teenage girls. Hate it. Do not like it.
Is it because of the disappearing?
It's the disappearing.
images?
It's like it always seems like whenever something is going down, and we get like a message from administrators or from superintendents, that seems to be where it happens.
Snapchat's where it's happening?
Yes.
Because I feel like the FOMO is strong anyway.
Yes.
Just in teenage life.
Yeah.
And now you add this layer to it, and then you add the sense of urgency of Snapchat. As I understand it, I'm not on Snap.
Neither am I.
But at least when it started, that was the strange, unique appeal of it is I can post a photo and then
Boom,
in seconds it's gone.
Yeah. And I would say, so when we let her pick which ones, we had a long conversation. Here are the 2, here you can pick 2.
Mm-hmm.
And here are the rules laid out, what behaviors are acceptable and what isn't. And explain to her very clearly, both of them, like what you put out on the internet, you might be able to delete, but that doesn't mean someone didn't screen grab it, and then they're sitting on it for whoever knows how long to do whatever they want to do with it to ruin your life. So
well, now that we know all the Taylor Swift hubbub that just came out of putting her face on explicit images, and we know that's happened in interpersonal lives where people want revenge and I'll photo. I mean, Photoshop was bad enough. Now it's to this next level where it looks so believable.
Yeah. And I will say, so the night that we had that conversation with our older daughter, the very next day, there was one of their classmates, images that she took of herself that she thought she was only sharing with one person that made the rounds around high school.
I would say in school.
And it was like the timing of it, I felt horrible for this, but it
made the
reinforced what we said the night before. And, making sure that like you understand, like, we know the family, we know who they are, and having to basically triage the situation. And it was just, it's awful. It's awful. And
it wasn't an after. I feel like there's a need for an after-school special. Remember that's how we tackled a lot of these social issues.
Yes.
But for you to have, like you said, it's a terrible situation, but that you weren't exaggerating. That this really does happen, and this is the only way I can protect you. Because that's a whole other thing. When all the stories that we've done about Children's Hospital and parents feeling powerless when your child is sick, and that's why we have the phone, so you can be in touch with them when they're out of your range of sight. Now, this is a way, there are not many tangible ways to protect someone from the dangers of the internet. And when you talk about sending a picture to someone, I am telling you, if I was a teenager in the 90s, I would be all tattooed up. That's been what I would have done.
Yep.
If I was a teenager now and I could tweet my favorite actor or musician and send them, oh, no, look. I got a tattoo on my body part, and I'll send this to them. You're thinking you're building a connection and a relationship with anyone. Those are the pop stars that I would have been, smitten with and tried to get their attention. But then you've got the terrible people who are sliding into DMs, and the social engineering is the phrase now, where finding out personal information where you're already worried as an adult. Oh, I let you know what my first dog's name is and what my mother's maiden name is. It just happened to come up in conversation, like all of those security questions. So you're being vulnerable and don't give out your social security number. But now you've got social engineering where
they find ways around, workarounds.
Right. Yeah. Or, oh, you're at home alone right now. Oh, your dad always works late on these nights. And finding out those vulnerabilities in those direct messages. Yeah. So I'm glad that you're able to monitor your children's phone use and be able to do hey, I could ask at any minute.
Yep. And you just hand it over. And if there's anything sus, as the kids say, on it, it's gone. It's gone. Yeah.
Other tips to help you keep your family safe and even protect your passwords, which is a whole... That part of the danger.
Mine are so protected because I forget them. That's how protected mine are.
Yeah, but that's a pain when you have to remember them. But we have more helpful hints for safer internet day next on WTMJ.
If you love authentic Mexican food, this is for you. WTMJ's John Mercure here. I love the Mine Shaft restaurant in Hartford because it's locally family-owned and it is super affordable and delicious. This is new and it's amazing. Today and every Tuesday, the Mine Shaft presents their all-you-can-eat authentic Mexican buffet for under $10. Seriously, it's all you can eat. It's just $9.99. Wow. It's the best Tuesday dining value anywhere. Your kids and grandkids can safely play in that $2 million game room quietly tucked away from the dining area while you finish up your meal. The Mine Shaft's all-you-can-eat Mexican buffet is under $10. Kids under 3 always eat for free. Come early from 2 till 5, Monday through Thursday. Beers, cocktails, and appetizers are half price. The Mine Shaft in beautiful downtown Hartford and right off the interstate in Oshkosh. Try the all-you-can-eat Tuesday Mexican buffet today from 11 a.m. for under $10. MineshaftRestaurant.com. Big food, big fun. It's the Mine Shaft.
Your nose is for breathing. Your mouth is for eating. And if you're breathing through your mouth, it's not because your body wants to. It's because it has to, because your nose isn't working properly. And although you've lived like this, it's no way to live, and it's having a significant impact on your life. I know you know this, and I know that taking action isn't always convenient. But at Advent, we've done all we can to make changing your life for the better as easy as possible. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula. With tens of thousands of our patients, a thorough breathing triangle evaluation, along with a simple 20-minute in-office procedure called balloon sinuplasty, has opened their nasal passages, allowing them to breathe freely through their nose for good. And there's a good chance this procedure can do the same for you. We'll help you breathe through your nose again, and it will change your life.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Annex Wealth Management. Investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning from a fee-only fiduciary. Forget commission sales pitches and financial products you don't need. Know the difference. Annex provides elite, comprehensive financial planning customized to who you are and what you need. AnnexWealth.com.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it all when you shop at St. Vincent de Paul. Old things, new things here for you. We're always changing. We're always new.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Inspired Closets. Did you know people with shoe racks are 7 times more likely to be on time for work? Inspired Closets will help you calm the chaos in your closets or your laundry room, your pantry, any space that needs it. They come out for a free visit, listen to your needs, and then use their special 3D software to customize a space that helps you manage your world. Call my friends Katie and Dan today, wife-husband team ready to help. Inspired days start in Inspired Closets. Inspired Closets, MKE.com.
WTMJ, I'm Sandy Maxx with Toya Washington. Today till 3 o'clock, discussing a variety of things to keep you entertained and interested, I hope. And you're always welcome to join the conversation. WTMJ talk and text line 855-616-1620. We have entertainment journalist Ryan Jay who's going to join us, and we're also going to touch on Black History Month. And Judge Derek Mosley has some knowledge that he shares in a very special way that caught our attention. So we'll put some attention on that, and we might even talk about Super Bowl stories because they can be interesting, and 'tis Super Bowl season, as we know, the big football playoff. We are talking right now, though, about Safer Internet Day, and that's what today is. There are like 100 countries getting together to talk about the dynamics of trying to keep yourself safe, whether you're an adult and trying not to get hacked,
yes,
and have identity fraud happen, and also the dynamic of trying to protect your children as AI and, predators you're always going to find predators where children are frequenting.
Yes.
Unattended is what I would say. That's where I was getting with that. I will tell you something very helpful is at the end of last year, I talked with Eric Drager, who's a cybersecurity expert, during our public safety hour with Andy Schwartz. And Eric Drager had a really helpful hint about protecting your passwords.
I'm getting my pen out. Let's go.
No, seriously.
What is it?
Write this down. It's Bitwarden, almost like a jail warden, Bitwarden. It's Bitwarden. It is free and it is secure. And you know how often you get told, oh, well, you can go to this one site and it's free, but then they amp you up and you've got to pay for the premium version. The free version of Bitwarden. Password security. And you can, it manages your passwords. He's a cybersecurity expert, and he has done his research on those. So try Bitwarden if you're just over trying to keep track of all the passwords, and because all the helpful hints are always don't use the same password for every website.
I know, but it's
nearly impossible. And then don't use a password and put the number 1 after it. It's like, yeah, but I can't remember that. And then don't write them down.
Yes.
And so don't walk around with a Post-it note. So I feel like maybe it's a first world problem as a joke, but I pay my insurance on my phone. I just paid my credit card on my, just this is the world of Apple Wallet, and everything is connected into digital. So if this is one way you can keep yourself or maybe your parent safer, try the password manager Bitwarden, and the free version is sufficient. You don't have to jack up to a paid version.
Yes, I have enough subscriptions.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yes.
and one more subscription that you have to keep track of. On Safer Internet Day, Toya, I was talking to you about being a mom and trying to protect your kids from the dangers of it, plus also just the time suck of it. It's like, go outside, go have some fun.
Oh, my gosh.
But you were telling me that something in particular was infuriating you, that you've noticed that your daughters are being exposed to.
Yes. So the younger one in particular. So I have both ends of the spectrum when it comes to, like, one is very much like she is the beauty maven. Like, she wants to know what the latest bells and whistles are with creams and serums and this and that. She has a little mini, like a tiny, tiny little mini refrigerator in her. So, because there are products that do better on your skin if they're cooled. Yeah.
Oh.
Yes. And
even I'm not doing that.
The other one, I'm like, can you please just, it's 3 steps. Can you just wash your face, use the toner and some moisturizer and be done with it? Like, I have to beg her to do it. The other
low maintenance, yeah.
The other one, like, it is a 15-minute routine. She does more to get her makeup, or like to get her little makeup off and to do skincare than I would when I was putting on a full face of makeup. And I'm like, okay, we don't need all this. But all that to say, like, I swear the marketing, part of me is like, you're brilliant. And at the same time, I hate you because we have
savvy.
Like 10 and 11-year-olds that are wanting $45, $48 serums and creams and this and that. And then there's like 6-step programs and there's this.
Oh.
And I
just wanted to get Clearasil. I just wanted no pimples.
Yes, that was that. Yes, I used my Neutrogena and I'm fine. Like back in the day, or we were goofing about St. Ives and the scrubs and whatever. Yes, I can still smell it. Like, my brain can still smell that apricot, whatever.
Yeah, it was apricot, and it had like crushed up walnuts in it. I mean, it was. You could have.
Yes,
you like to redo furniture. I could
have rubbed that on. Yes,
gotten off some primer and some paint with that.
But those are the things where I'm like, these companies that are marketing to these kids who have doll-like skin in the first place, because it's the trendy thing to do, and that everybody has the this lip mask that they use at night. I'm like, Aquaphor is fine.
Oh, yeah.
You're fine.
Water-based Aquaphor, you know it, yeah.
Exactly. So these are the things that I'm like, it drives me nuts. Like, I applaud from a marketing standpoint, like, y'all got it figured out. Y'all got it figured out that my 13-year-old wants to go to Ulta and drop $120 that she doesn't have. And I don't
on
spend
products that she truly doesn't
need. Exactly. So it's an angry, and I'm like, and kudos to you for being brilliant in marketing.
This is the 21st century version of a magazine, though, because when I was a teenager, I wasn't able to, I couldn't look at a Cosmopolitan or 17 magazine because every single page was literally something about, well, you need this. You don't have these shoes. You don't have this right skin cream. You don't have this hair thing. And it was overwhelming.
Yes.
Because it was all stuff I didn't need and I couldn't afford.
Yes, but
and
you could close that magazine up and throw it away, recycle it now.
I truly didn't buy them. I'd flip through them and I was like, I can't look at this. This is overwhelming and this is making me feel inadequate.
Yeah.
And I'm not as pretty as these girls who've all been photoshopped up. So it was like, I could put that magazine away. This is now what that's become, though.
Yeah.
You can't put that magazine away.
And it's
because,
rapid fire.
And we didn't even talk about how these social media platforms are programmed to be addictive for all of us.
Yes.
Here's the notification.
Yep.
Bing. Bing. So do what you can to keep yourself safer on Safer Internet Day. Tina Chang was in earlier today with Wisconsin's Morning News. Go back and listen to that podcast at WTMJ.com because she gave some really great advice and really reminded us all that this is on us to be smart and protect ourselves and learn what we can learn about the Internet. WTMJ News is next.
Be our eyes on the road. See something out there that I should know about?
Hi there. I was calling to report a traffic accident for your traffic reporter, Debbie Lazica.
Call me, Debbie Lazica, at the hallmazda.com traffic tip line at 414-238-9329.
Hi, Debbie. It's Michael. Eastbound 894, there's a fender bender, and these guys are blocking the right lane.
The drive affects you. Why not be part of it? Give me a call, 414-238-9329.
Blaine's Farm and Fleet's big pet care sale is going on now, and that means huge savings on the food, treats, and supplies you need to help keep your pets happy and healthy. Like $10 off select bags of Nutro Maxx or Natural Choice dog food, 40-pound bags of Blaine's brand black oil sunflower seed, $17.99. Plus, buy 4 Michelin, BF Goodrich, or Uniroyal tires and get instant service credit savings equal to the price of one tire.
Find value at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Download the free Upside app to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code GIFT for an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first fill-up. That's promo code GIFT.
I'm Brett Matschke, and you're due for service.
Richlands.
When it comes to remodeling, everyone has advice about who you should hire. But who can you trust? Your boss? Neighbors? Random online reviews? No. When it comes to remodeling, you can trust NARI. All NARI members are experienced, proven, qualified, and verified by local people who know the industry and have your back. Join us for the NARI Spring Home Improvement Show, February 16th through 18th at State Fair Park. Get discount tickets at NARIMilwaukee.org.
This is Matt Meitner, owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Do you find yourself talking to your dog but feel like she's not listening to you?
Bella, sit!
Are you constantly repeating yourself but she's not following your directions?
Sit! Sit!
Frustrating, isn't it? At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we want to help you have a happy, confident, and obedient dog, and we also want to make the training process an enjoyable and worthwhile experience. Contact Sit Means Sit today to schedule a free consultation so we can create a customized training program so you are able to have the dog you want and deserve.
Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Sorry, we don't train husbands, wives, or kids.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Steve and Ashley heard our radio ads over the years, and when it came time to buy their first home, clicked on the blue button. One of our senior loan consultants, Brad, sent them a credit-verified pre-approval the same day and then upgraded to a rock-solid, fully verified and guaranteed pre-approval shortly thereafter. They made a couple offers without success, and then Brad told them about AccuNet's new property-specific pre-approval, where we might be able to include those magic words, no appraisal required. When they wrote their next offer, several $1,000s over asking to make sure someone else didn't end up sleeping in their dream home, Their property-specific rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval included that most powerful phrase, no appraisal required, and the sellers picked Steve and Ashley's offer over several others. If you think all mortgage lenders and pre-approvals are the same, think again. Go with a local mortgage lender that has the tools and know-how to help you win and save money too. Click on the blue button today at accunet.com.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a good karma brand station.
Off to Lillard, fires up the three, and he hits it. How about that finish for the Bucks? Waiting for the sun.
The Bucks are in Phoenix against the Suns, with coverage starting tonight at 8:30 on your home for the Bucks. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
At 1 o'clock, it's 41 degrees. Some fog this morning has lifted. Some sun this afternoon with a high of 44. Mostly cloudy tonight with a low of 32. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Greg Matzik. Milwaukee Common Council passing a resolution today calling for changes in how EMS crews respond to calls.
We're talking about life and death here. So especially in these life and death situations, we always have to continuously be looking for opportunities to improve the services that we're all paying for.
Alderman Lamont Westmoreland introduced a resolution after a woman in his district was found dead at a bus stop. A private ambulance crew dispatched to the call didn't see the woman after driving through the intersection. The resolution, among other things, calls for a requirement that first responders exit their vehicles in search for those needing assistance on a call. Walworth County authorities still not sharing additional information about the person they arrested. They say it's a person of interest, however, in connection to the double murder in downtown Elkhorn late last week. Emerson and Gina Weingart were shot and killed at the Sports Page bar. Gina Weingart worked there. Police department says they're holding someone on unrelated charges, but they're looking into the person's possible connection to the murders. Meanwhile, Southern Californians getting a bit of a break today from the nonstop days of rain that have been falling. Record amounts have come down, causing damage and rescues. ABC's Alex Stone is in Los Angeles.
With the heavy, continuous rain moving out, a bit of optimism in the voice of LA Mayor Karen Bass.
It looks like it might be stopping, or at least a little lighter.
A foot of rain has fallen in some areas. Her team's reporting there have been 307 mudslides in L.A. since the rain began on Sunday. But with so much water on the ground, the mudslide risk could remain for days or even weeks. Alex Stone, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Well, one tech giant is taking steps to flag content generated by artificial intelligence. ABC's Brian Clark shares details.
Advances in AI technology have added new concerns to the presidential election year. Meta, the parent company of Facebook and Instagram, says it will alert users to pictures generated by artificial intelligence.
It's not going to be a perfect solution.
Meta President of Global Affairs Nick Clegg tells GMA this will not extend to video or audio posts.
But I hope that this is a big step forward in trying to make sure that people know what they're looking at and they know where what they're looking at comes from.
Brian Clark, ABC News.
And the Brewers equipment truck is loaded and ready to head west to Arizona, but that's not the only topic of discussion today at AmFam Field.
In addition to Brewers equipment being loaded Monday to send to Phoenix, Arizona for spring training, Senior VP of Communications Tyler Barnes says there won't be any more parking attendants for home games. He says the new method will be easy to use.
The parking attendants are being redeployed. They will be throughout the parking lots helping people understand the new system. There is no money exchange when you're here at the ballpark, but you do need to make sure you've either paid in advance and activated your session by entering your license plate, or you scan the QR code when you get here and you pay online.
Julian Johnson, WTMJ News.
You'll be able to set up parking ahead of games using the Brewers Ballpark app. Time for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Mixed results on the indices today, with the Dow currently up about 0.25% at 38,470. The NASDAQ down about 0.25% at 15,565. And the S&P 500 up just about 0.1% at 49.46 and change. News sponsored by Annex Wealth Management's Money Talk. Check it out Saturdays at 10 here on WTMJ. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 1:04.
Better days start with a better night's sleep on a mattress from Milwaukee Mattress and Ken Michaels Furniture. Handcrafted in Milwaukee, our mattresses are custom built to your needs. We have all the comfort and firmness options to give you your best night's rest. Buying direct from our factory showrooms will save you up to 50% compared to national brands. Shop today during our New Year's sale at Ken Michaels Furniture for over 75 years of uncompromising quality, local factory direct saving, and your best night's sleep. Start the new year right with Norwalk Furniture on sale now at Ken Michaels Furniture. Save 35% on showroom pieces that are ready for immediate delivery, or in just 35 days, you can create a look that reflects your unique style with over 850 fabric and leather options and comfort levels, from cuddling to extra firm support. Norwalk Furniture's American roots go back over 102 years. For better quality American-made upholstery, shop the Norwalk Upholstery Sale at any Ken Michaels Furniture locations in Greenfield, Brookfield, or downtown.
Hey, Gene Miller here. The heart of winter is the best time to call my friends at Hometown Windows and Doors. Save heating and cooling dollars down the road with energy-efficient replacement windows and doors from brands like Pella, Anderson, Marvin, and more. Hometown is your local source for wood, vinyl, or fiberglass, plus all of their products are installed by employee carpenters. Stop into their newly remodeled showroom in New Berlin and see the Hometown difference. That's Hometown with an E for your every window and door need. HometownWindows.com.
Brewers win! Get more from your live baseball experience with the 2024 Brewers Ticket Plan. On sale now. Don't miss more exclusive Brewers season seat holder rewards, like your very own batting practice session, more can't-miss action, and more access to the game you love. It's your ticket to being a VIP Brewers fan this season. Plus, you'll enjoy savings on ticket prices you can't get anywhere else. Learn more at brewers.com/ticket plans.
The Milwaukee Bucks season-long 5-game West Coast road trip is finally set to come to a conclusion tonight after a loss in Utah Sunday and struggling a bit as of late, even losing 3 of their last 4 games. The mindset and belief hasn't changed with the Bucks' 2-time MVP in Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Right now, it doesn't matter, and I hope everybody in this locker room feels the same way that I feel. It does not matter. There's so many things that we are doing right now that we are getting better.
Milwaukee is in Phoenix tonight to take on the Suns for the first of 2 matchups on the season. Tip-off is set for 9 p.m. Over to the NFL, where Commissioner Roger Goodell announced on Monday that the Philadelphia Eagles will play host to the NFL's first regular season game in Brazil. Their opponent for that game is yet to be determined. And lastly, according to Kylie McDaniel of ESPN, the Brewers are in agreement with free agent right-handed pitcher Jacob Junis. The deal, which is still pending a physical, is for a 1-year, $7 million. I'm Brandon Snide, WTMJ Sports.
Time for a look at your roads at Johnson & Sons Paving. Time saver traffic update. Pretty normal times around the system today. Downtown to the zoo will run you 594 outbound from the zoo to Highway 1611. Typical slowdown here if you're moving south on 43 from Brown Deer to downtown. Normally about an 11-minute ride. That'll run you 15 today through the normal construction. Otherwise, standard travel times across the system on a sunny afternoon.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Veterans benefits denied? Call Tayback for the payback. Brave Americans who served shouldn't be denied benefits or have a disability claim incorrectly evaluated by the VA. If you're one of those vets, call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
WTMJ 5-day forecast. The peak of the sun this afternoon will top out at 44. Mostly cloudy tonight with a low of 32. Wednesday, mostly cloudy and mild. 48 your high. Thursday, we get into the 50s with breezy conditions. A chance of showers, a high of 54. And we remain in the 50s on Friday with a high of 53. 38 degrees in Madison. 38 in Green Bay. 37 in Waukesha. And 41 degrees at the Avenue. I'm Greg Matzik. Siding Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 1:08.
It's the middle of the day on WTMJ. Come join the conversation on the WTMJ Talk and Text line at 855-616-1620. Now here's Sandy Maxx and Toya Washington.
Welcome and good afternoon. And we're going to explore the entertainment world locally and I'll say globally with entertainment journalist Ryan J. in the studio. Welcome, Ryan.
Hey, Sandy.
How are you?
I'm doing great. It's so good to see you again.
It is wonderful to see you.
And to meet Toya in person.
I know. It's like, I see you. I know you. And I was like, wait, but you don't know me because I'm on the other side of the TV when I see you.
Exactly. It's so surreal. So that's what you look like in 3D, right?
Right? Yeah. Right? And a little less makeup for me.
So, Ryan, as an entertainment journalist, you cover TV, you cover film, but you're also a theater enthusiast with a Broadway background. And you've got your eye on the local theater scene.
I'm obsessed with the local theater scene. Let's just say it like it is, right? First of all, I mean, yes, I'm born and raised here, like we do, and then went to New York for 13 years and celebrate everything entertainment from the greatest that it can be in the country. But then coming back here and really appreciating just how creative and fantastic this community really is, and not just Summerfest during the summertime and the tours and all the other great concerts that we get, but the local theater scene and the arts cred that we have in Milwaukee is so outstanding. From, of course, the crown jewel, the Marcus Center, Marcus Performing Arts Center, and we're seeing, yet this season they still have Mamma Mia coming up, and Clue, the Tina Turner musical, and of course Moulin Rouge, which is such a spectacle. But then the Milwaukee Rep and Skylight, and even these smaller independent companies that a lot of people don't really know about that are so committed year after year to doing full seasons of outstanding work, without the budget that the United Performing Arts Fund, UPAF, provides for some of the more prominently known companies, are coming through show after show with phenomenally thoughtful, provocative, interesting, sometimes in the best way, disturbing art. I love it. And we are so lucky to have a thriving arts theater scene here.
And the range of that, and that you have spent time in New York, you can have that comparison, because we all have the hometown pride, but to actually have that comparison and go, oh, no, we have world-class talent here. I mean, you talk about the Milwaukee Rep, the costuming department there. Alex Tacoma has been the head of the costuming department, and he is world-class. We are lucky that he chooses to be here.
Absolutely. And like Skylight Music Theater executive director Susan Varela was Fantine on Broadway in Les Mis, with her husband Andrew, who was Javert, and the artistic director Michael Unger, tons of Broadway credits to his name. And we see a lot of that here across the artistic. I mean, even the Milwaukee Ballet, Michael Pink is one of the most internationally renowned, recognized choreographers, where his ballets have been performed all over the world to great acclaim, and has won some of the highest achievements and awards imaginable in that industry.
And made his home here for 20 years now, and made an impact with the Milwaukee Ballet and bringing the world to Milwaukee. I love one of the favorite things of the Milwaukee Ballet, not just the classics, but this weekend is Genesis.
Yes.
And this is a competition of 3 choreographers handpicked from around the world, and they stage their earth-shattering, groundbreaking choreography with Milwaukee Ballet dancers. 3 different pieces that the audience gets to vote on.
Oh, wow.
And then the winner, which I know art is subjective, but
Yes.
what resonates the most, then that choreographer, the winning choreographer, comes back and stages that with Milwaukee Ballet dancers later.
My gosh.
And so it's
a real
wonderful
fan favorite.
Yeah.
If you don't want to go out and see the story, which you should, by the way, like Michael Pink's Dracula as a ballet, it's interesting to see like how can horror adapt not only to stage but ballet. That in and of itself as a genre is miraculous and outstanding. But he works with budgets like you saw. He remounted. It was the first revision. It was the world premiere of his Nutcracker ballet re-envisioned this last holiday
and that's
season.
always daring.
And it had the
You mess
budget
with a classic,
of like
you know?
a big Broadway production. It was like a $15 million, and it showed.
Yeah.
And so, and they're doing Cinderella coming up. But yes, this Genesis coming up this weekend is a real fan favorite, and just kind of a great testament to the diversity in dance within dance and the different kinds of styles that you can have within ballet in of itself.
And puts Milwaukee on a global map for arts and culture. And after, like I said, 2 decades of Michael Pink being here, it's not just a whim. It's not just something. I think it will live on in the future. Who is we just glowed about the local theater scene, and you've got your finger on the pulse. Are there any struggles in the theater scene? Because we know that Wisconsin as a state is one of the lowest contributors to the arts and culture scene. Only 2% of the entire state budget.
Yes, comparatively to other states, Wisconsin could do and should do much better in terms of government funding.
I think 48th or 49th in the country.
I'm ashamed of that, but but still the audience turns out. And so something that we can all do, because by the way, including the Marcus Performing Arts Center, Skylight, these, and Milwaukee Rep, these are all nonprofit organizations. So in addition to becoming a subscriber, if you can, or going out and seeing the shows, donating and contributing that way helps so much. One of the great other companies we have, Milwaukee Chamber Theater, which consistently does amazing work under the artistic director Brent Hazelton,
who was at the Rep before, yeah?
Yes. And he himself is a writer-director. He mounted the incredible production of Liberace that he revived this year, debuted at the Rep, a decade ago. And it almost closed last year, or this season almost didn't happen because they were in such financial turmoil. Well, you know what? Wisconsin showed up. The audience showed up. They did a fundraising campaign. They're able to be here for this season. Hopefully they can be here again next season. But we've got to continue to commit that way, because this is a great option, especially in our winter months.
Yes.
Or when Summerfest isn't available. And yeah, there's great sporting events that we can watch at home. And I'm always talking about what to see on the big screen and what you can stream at home on TV when you see me on The Blend on Fridays on TMJ4, but it's still so much to see in our local theater, and seeing things live in the communal aspect of an audience.
I'm going to need you to repeat something here, because I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions as far as some of the larger venues is that they are nonprofits.
Correct.
In Marcus, I think that is the biggest one. Full disclosure here, I'm on the board, so
yeah.
I will say that. But
Thanks
I think
for supporting the arts.
But thank you. But that was one of the things that even I did not realize until having a sit down conversation about whether or not I felt capable and what could I bring to the board and what my bandwidth was at the time. And that was one of the things that I didn't know.
Right.
I'm like that. Because people associate it with
you're
the
buying
Marcus
a ticket.
Theater.
You're making money.
But they also associate it with the larger Marcus Theaters, with the corporation. That's not the case. It is still a nonprofit. And as you mentioned, subscribers.
Yes.
Go see a show.
Absolutely.
Do the
and
things.
I'm an advocate of buying and subscribing to an entire season, because, you might recognize 2 or 3 shows you'd seen before. It's been a while since you've seen them, but you recognize the songs. You're looking forward to those. The shows you're unfamiliar with, or in my case, I'm a musicals person, so I'm less jazzed about the straight plays or the dramas. Those are the ones that 9 times out of 10 you'll walk away from and say, you know what, I wouldn't have seen it had I not subscribed, had I not gone to see it, and showed up that day, gone in the rain or the snow, and it ends up being your standout favorite, and you're you're expanding
it's a discovery,
your tastes. Yes, they are nonprofit. Marcus Performing Arts Center, and the Rep and Skylight, and it's First Stage. They all do great educational outreach programming and opportunities where they're bringing students and involving them in the arts. So above and beyond what schools may be doing for arts education, what our local theaters, in addition to your tickets and enjoying their productions, what they're doing for our community, for the children in our community, for those of us who grew up like me, where maybe were not inclined to do sports, but you find an outlet in this kind of industry that builds esteem and empathy, and in a way helps you contribute back to society. My career is in entertainment. I have my degree in journalism, like you guys, and so it's just all kind of a very necessary, important, and fantastic thing.
And I would highly encourage. And I was a person. I grew up in Minneapolis, and I think I saw maybe the only time I ever went to go see plays, musicals, anything that involved a stage was on field trips. And the big reason why is because my family could not afford to. But I highly encourage. People are spending money on the most ridiculous, consumable and disposable things, but something like that. And I tease, the first time I saw a Broadway musical, I was in my late 20s, and I was like, oh my gosh, not that I would have necessarily succeeded, because I don't have a singing voice, and not that I wanted to be like the main character, but I'm like, to have explored that more as a kid. But by the time I got to high school, it was like, okay, I found my quote unquote lane in sports. So that was my thing, but it could have been both.
Yes,
right? It
absolutely.
Could have been
it
both.
is for many people.
And not that I could have made a career out of it, maybe, but at least I could have explored that a little bit more. And so I encourage parents who you're buying Nike Pandas, every other week.
Right. Exactly.
Go take them to a theater.
Studies show, you're talking to research here. Biology and science shows that what affects and what's healthier for us and what we cherish and what molds us more are experiences over the material items that we get. So yeah, if you want to get your kid that pair of tennis shoes or iPhone or the latest gadget or accessory they want, it's the experiences that shape us and that we remember and make us who we are.
I will tell you, one of the first musicals that we brought our girls to was House of Rock? No. School of Rock.
School of Rock,
Thank you.
yes,
School of
for the
Rock.
kids.
Sorry. School of Rock. Haven't had enough coffee yet. School of Rock. And I kid you not, like, first of all, they watched the movie version.
Sure, with Jack Black.
Yeah, so Jack Black. They watched that several times over. But when they found out that it's returning, they were like, can we go see it again?
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's so good. And there's so much like that. And you're talking about even like maybe you were inspired, but we can talk more about this too, and the arts and the performers that we have too in this community that we're supporting.
And we're also debuting in the state because World Premiere Wisconsin was an entire festival that launched last year celebrating new plays and musicals. So we have a lot to be proud of. More with entertainment journalist Ryan J. next on WTMJ.
Creative Planning presents Rethink Your Money with John Hagenson, Saturday afternoon at 1. At Creative Planning, we have an entire team working for you, including wealth advisors, CPAs, and attorneys, all working together, all in one place. Let Creative Planning show you a richer way to wealth. Visit creativeplanning.com. That's creativeplanning.com.
Meet Alan, who was diagnosed with sleep apnea.
I was what they called a mouth breather, and I would breathe at night with my mouth open.
And for about 8 years, Alan struggled with a CPAP machine. And then
I saw the Advent commercial, and I thought, well, what do you got to lose? This machine is miserable.
For most people, CPAP machines are miserable, but a simple breathing triangle solution from Advent can be life-changing.
And it really was, to me, it was amazing because I don't think I ever breathed that clear.
This is Dr. Madan Kandula. After having one of Advent's simple breathing triangle procedures, people are amazed at how freely and clearly they can breathe.
I'm happy with the procedure. I'm very glad I did it. I wish I would have done it 20 years ago. I could have avoided that machine I had to have laying next to the bed with the hose wrapped around my head.
Schedule your appointment at AdventKnows.com because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. AdventKnows.com. Results may vary.
Here in Wisconsin, one name is synonymous with fantastic frozen pizza, Palermo's. For almost 60 years, Palermo's has focused on feeding Wisconsin families. And though Palermo's has grown a lot since 1964, they're still family-owned. They're still proud to call Milwaukee home. And they're still committed to making the best frozen pizza possible. From their new and improved rising crust pizzas to their guilt-free Primo thin pies, Palermo's has a delicious slice for every appetite. Find Palermo's in your local grocer's freezer food aisle. Palermo's, flavor is our family's business.
Dan, what do you think are the top 3 reasons people buy from us at Inspired Closets?
Katie, that's easy. Our 3D design software, 4 ironclad guarantees, and our lifetime warranty.
Plus, we're honest and transparent in our pricing. We don't over-design. And we're a local family-owned business.
Clients need to know that we are a different closet company. We are designed completely around them.
And we're a wife and husband team.
Visit us at inspiredclosetsmke.com.
WTMJ. I'm Sandy Maxx with Toya Washington in this afternoon till 3 o'clock and talking entertainment locally and around the country with entertainment journalist Ryan J. And we're getting our dance on there from the Barbie soundtrack. But before we talk Academy Awards and someone in this studio who hasn't seen any of the movies, we'll out that person shortly. But I think you represent a lot of people, so it's super okay.
It's a problem.
It isn't. But Ryan, you wanted to make another point about our Wisconsin theater scene.
Because I'm just allowing me one more moment to advocate for our local theaters, and that we are supporting them and the companies, but also there are some great working artists who, as actors and performers, and the people behind the scenes too, and crew and set designers and lighting and sound and costume, and that we are employing them, and some of them are managing to do this, if not full time, close to full time with other support. So I just enjoy supporting these artists.
It is an economic boost to have a cultural scene, music, theater, all of it. And so it's as host of the arts page on Milwaukee PBS, it's now been 10 seasons, and every single artist I have met says, if they're a sculptor, they say, hey, you think what I'm doing is interesting? You need to meet this watercolor painter. And do you know this duo and this band over here? It's a very
connected,
collaborative. Yeah. Yes. And it's like, and have you been to Spring Green, to the American Players Theater there? You wouldn't believe the costuming that they do. And everybody wants to elevate and share the joy of the creativity that we have here in Wisconsin.
It's true. And you just never know who locally you're supporting that may go on to become an Oscar nominee, like this year's current nominee, Mark Ruffalo. From Wisconsin.
Yes, Kenosha.
Right?
Yeah.
And he is up as Best Supporting Actor for Poor Things.
Got it.
And Willem Dafoe is in that film.
He is.
And for those of us who have kids, that's the Hulk.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, from the Avengers and so forth.
There you go.
Proving the versatility of his acting to be a Marvel movie superhero.
Yeah, I love
Toya,
him.
you know more.
I love him. I love him.
Yeah, I love him too. He's great. He's very talented.
He is.
So we were talking just before we rejoined you on the air. Ryan asked Toya, which of the Oscar-nominated films have you seen? And Toya, your answer?
Not a one.
Which
Not
is
a one. I know.
I'm not that shocked. I think that's very normal for a lot of people.
Here we had to juggle schedules to try to see Barbie, and then it fell through. Someone had a surprise practice or something, and then it kind of gets to that point where we're like, okay, well, we'll just watch
Maxx.
I know, and we'll watch it in our basement as a family. Yes, but I wanted to watch that, and also it's one of those that was one of those movies that I'm like, I want to watch it with my daughters.
Yes.
Period.
Mm-hmm,
yes.
definitely.
End of story. We weren't huge Barbie people. I was growing up. My girls were, somewhat, but Barbie also morphed into the Disney princesses. So they would play with Disney princesses, those dolls. So
Disney's not going to sit back and miss a dime when Mattel's out there putting dolls out, right? Disney's getting in on that market share.
That part, sir. You are absolutely right.
Ryan, as the entertainment journalist in the room who has seen
everything,
many of the nominees, I've seen many. I'm
out of obligation.
Yeah, well, and it's your job. So, and I've seen several of them as kind of the cultural gal here at WTMJ. What are maybe 3 headlines from the Oscar nominations that you think are worth noting?
Well, it's Barbenheimer was the year of 2023, right? Barbenheimer just owned it. So I think we're looking at Oppenheimer to really take Best Picture, Best Director, possibly Best Actor for Cillian Murphy, and all deservedly so, right?
I'm going to tell you, Robert Downey Jr. is excellent in that. The very end of that film, where everything comes together in one big kind of political conversation, as spectacular as the rest of the film is, and it handles the depth of the conversation really artistically. Christopher Nolan's fascinating, but I'm telling you, the payoff at the end of that movie where everything gets tied up thematically was really
satisfying,
impressive. Yeah.
So that is on the to-do list.
I can highly recommend it, and I think it's a movie that appeals to everyone. It's not a action. It's not a chick flick. It's not an action film. It's not just for the kids. It's an adult conversation. I don't. It's not, all the teenagers aren't running to Oppenheimer, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But it's an important film, and it's a really well done film.
I will tell you. Here's my other problem with movies, and my husband will attest to this. Is that spending so many years in the news business and having to keep stories tight, short, blah, 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 that my attention span...
It's so true.
I know. It's terrible.
Toya, you're not even mentioning the fact that we also grew up in the MTV... I mean, I'm older than you, I'm sure, but the MTV generation, seriously, that we were experiencing the music videos that are edited with not a shot longer than 15 seconds.
Exactly.
So we've all been given ADHD if we didn't have it naturally, right?
Seriously. And that is probably one of the other reasons why I'm just like, okay, do we have to go... We're going to a movie, and it's a process because it's a time commitment.
It's an investment.
Yes, I love to golf.
But that's what I'm here for. That's why I enjoy being a film critic, because it's my job to tell you to see it, stream it, or skip it. And the biggest kiss of death, and the number one thing that destroys a movie is its length. If it's too long, there are 3-hour movies that feel like an hour, and that's when it's directed right, edited right, the performances are right. You're sucked in. You want it to. You could go longer.
And that's then you say, I wish that had been.
But then there are also, I've sadly seen movies that are 86 minutes long and feel like they're 7 hours. And we don't get that. Yeah. So I mean. There's
checking your watch.
Right. There's a lot to be said there, but you can't. You have to look at all the different factors and not just judge based on runtime.
We're going to talk more about the film industry and the business angle of it with the strikes and just how did that or didn't that really affect the industry. Entertainment journalist Ryan J. next on WTMJ.
Be sure to load up on Vienna beef hot dogs for this weekend's big football game. The official hot dog of the Milwaukee Brewers is Vienna beef. Manufactured and produced since 1893. Available at select grocers and hot dog stands near you.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik here to tell you about my friends over at the Hounds and Tap in Menominee Falls. It's a state-of-the-art facility and the ultimate hangout for hounds and humans. Grab a drink at the tavern, meet others while your pup enjoys the dog park. That's a mud-free dog park, by the way. Fun, happy, clean, and a great environment for everyone. The Hounds and Tap also provides doggy daycare, boarding, and professional grooming services. We take our greyhound there regularly. Learn more about their services. Check out thehoundsandtap.com. That's thehoundsandtap.com.
Hi, this is John Neal, CPA, founder of Right Choice Tax Resolution and best-selling author on how to have less stress with the IRS. It's 2024 and an election year. The politicians are out there promising things they won't deliver. One thing is certain. Taxes are what pays for those promises. The IRS collects those taxes, and man, can they be brutal. My latest book has advice on what to do to avoid trouble with the IRS. We help you file back tax returns, get liens released, set up payment plans, represent you in audits, and get penalties reduced or eliminated. Some recent clients we helped include getting a $40,000 tax bill reduced by $32,000, filing a 2020 tax return to get a $7,000 refund, and negotiating a payment plan for $250 a month on a $30,000 tax bill. Make the right choice. Go to rightchoicetax.us to book a call or in-person meeting right now. We know you want to take the first step in getting the IRS off your back so you can live again. That's rightchoicetax.us.
Hey 620 WTMJ fans, Gary Ellison here for my friends at Best Electric Services. They're family owned and operated and have been serving you for over 50 years. No job is too big or too small, whether it's completing a residential or commercial project or even installing electrical vehicle charging. Best Electric provides quality service at fair prices. They are experienced and licensed electrical contractors ready to get to work. Connect with the Best Electric Services. Find out what they can do for you and visit bestelect.com today.
Getting funky with Stevie Wonder.
Yes, this is my mom's move. I'm channeling my mom.
Toya Washington and Sandy Maxx on WTMJ. You can stream online at WTMJ.com. You can even watch on the YouTube channel if you're bold enough to see our dance moves when we come back.
I always forget, and then after I've done something silly,
it's all good.
Then you're like, oh yeah, by the way, you're on camera.
It's entertainment. Awesome. It's good. And speaking of entertainment journalist Ryan J is joining us as well. You can see him and his Wizard of Oz cup and backpack.
That's right.
He is repping for Oz.
Didn't Oconomowoc just come out with their schedule for what they're doing?
I believe so, yes.
Okay.
I'm an Oz historian, so that's why Sandy's mentioning it.
We'll circle back to the Oz because the Wizard of Oz is also going to be back on the big screen, which I'm very excited about. So before 2 o'clock, we'll talk about Wizard of Oz. But I do want to go back to the Academy Awards just to touch on it because it was very fun to see the two of you light up about a couple of films where we were chatting and in the hallway. So
right, because I was talking about Barbenheimer. I think the other big one that we might see upset Oppenheimer a little bit is you remember that year we had La La Land versus Moonlight, and they even announced La La Land, Faye Dunaway, but it was actually Moonlight that actually won. I think everybody is betting on Oppenheimer. The one possible upset would be The Holdovers. Could take Best Picture. But anyway, there were a lot of snubs as well. So, Greta Gerwig, the Margot Robbie talk of a snub for not getting a nomination for Barbie when Ryan Gosling got one as Ken. America Ferrera, thank goodness, got one for supporting actress in the film. She had a great monologue.
We're still going to be rooting for Wisconsin. Yes. Still going to be rooting for Mark Ruffalo on the red carpet. That's something to watch for.
I did see that monologue. Yes. I did see that monologue.
Did you identify with it?
125%.
Yeah, that's an Oscar. And I think sometimes, roles will get nominations not because the entire performance. It only takes a moment in a movie. There have been people who've been nominated and won for less than what America did in that moment with that monologue. It's epic, and that's the kind of moment where I think we all collectively knew this is worth a nomination.
Yes. Get your red carpet dress ready, girl.
So
and all the accessories.
yes, definitely.
Glam Squad.
You, Ryan, asked Toya earlier, hey, which movies have you seen? And we've all chuckled. And again, I think it's a very real answer, and we all choose how to spend our entertainment dollars. So I don't think any less of anybody who's like, I haven't seen Barbie. I haven't seen Oppenheimer. Summertime was a nice time to be outside and be up north. I'll stream it later. Life got in the way. So no shame in that game of not seeing a movie game. But you lit up, Toya, asking Ryan about a movie that you've been excited about.
Yes, but
Still
haven't seen it.
But
and again, it goes back to trying to schedule with a group of girlfriends. We're all on the calendar, and and I'll just say it. It's Sachelle Reed, Shannon Sims, Amanda Porterfield, and myself. All are in like a little group chat type of thing.
I would say the TV gals.
Yes,
the
and
TV journalists.
We call each other
Sometimes
the aunties.
Sometimes they let a gay in as an honorary, right? Come on.
So the aunties cannot get on the same page about when we were going to go see this movie, and it's the movie Origin.
Yes. And this movie is phenomenal. It changed my life. I was bawling by the end. It's the true story of Isabel Wilkerson, who is the first African-American female to win the Pulitzer Prize in journalism. And
I see why you wanted to go, ladies.
Yes. It's the story of her life that intersects at a very difficult time personally for her as she's researching a seemingly impossible thesis, designing a book she wrote called Caste. And finds...
Which Caste, by the way, was one, if it sounds familiar, it's because when the importance of diversity, equity, and inclusion, the hot topic after George Floyd, that seemed to be the book that every corporation was handing out, and you need to understand the systemic and how racism or caste systems or things like this work, and
society,
why still
religion.
to this day the repercussions of it. So
Right.
I'm sorry to interrupt your flow there, but that's the book, in case people are like, wait, what book is she talking about?
It's absolutely revelatory and life-changing, and it's the kind of thing that should be required reading. I know that's not my place to say. I'm not a parent, you know what I mean? But I mean, just like, let's say adults. It just opened,
But it shows the impact.
It showed the
that
impact.
it had
And
on
what
you.
she did was, here's the thing. What I'm so impressed by is she had a concept that she wanted to find a connection between three things that are basically impossible, we'd say, to find a connection between: the Holocaust, American slavery, and the caste system in India. And it was like, and she did it. She found the connection. And when that revelation and how she finds it in black and white, research and terms, and it's all there in history, documented, she just uncovered it and includes it. And that just breaks down the exterior of what's all at the basis of all these different things. It's insanely enlightening, terrifying, fascinating, and also cautionary, and like a lesson that we can all just benefit from. I mean, so she just taught us.
And ties into Black History Month, a very ideal time for this film to be coming out. And Toya, you and the aunties still have a chance to see this. It is in theaters now.
Yes.
At AMC, Mayfair, also several of the Marcus theaters. So this is an enlightening conversation for me. I hadn't heard of this.
And that in and of itself, I am trying to peel away that onion and figure out how and why.
That didn't get any nominations?
And just more exposure.
Yeah, oh, well, studio money. Didn't do the campaign. That's what it comes down to. They didn't do an Oscars campaign.
Got it.
Well, we will check in more about the film industry, the TV, the state of streaming. We have entertainment journalist Ryan J. in the studio. More with Sandy Maxx and Toya Washington on WTMJ.
Oh, how great it would feel to have your 20-year-old knees, shoulders, hips, and back.
You don't think about your pains when you're in your 20s or 30s, but you wish you could get that body back when you're in your 60s. I think QC did that for me.
For Patrick, here in Milwaukee, it started with a simple phone call to QC Kinetics.
One day I was driving and I just heard the radio and I pulled over and took the number and I called them when I got home.
Maybe that's you, and you're listening right now. Why wait? QC Kinetics Regenerative Treatments uses your body's own natural biologics to heal and restore damaged tissue without invasive surgery or harmful drugs. And as for the results,
my knees are as good as they were when I was in my 20s. I'm really happy with what happened.
For Patrick, it's like QC Kinetics turned back the clock. Now it's your turn. Call QC Kinetics today for your complimentary consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
With Social Security, the longer you wait, the more money you may get. Deciding when to start taking your Social Security benefits is one of the most important retirement decisions you'll make. Our team of advisors at Drake & Associates can show you the options and help you decide on the best decision for you and your situation. You spent decades paying in, optimize what comes out. Our experienced team can help you squeeze every penny out of your Social Security benefits. I'd love to get you our Retirement Ready Toolkit, which includes guides such as the Social Security Decision. To receive this complimentary toolkit, call or text SS to 414-409-9982. That's calling or texting SS to 414-409-9982.
Investment advisory services provided by Drake & Associates, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Insurance products are offered through a separate company, Loft Financial Advisory Group, LLC, a Wisconsin insurance agency. Clients are under no obligation to purchase any recommended insurance products.
Yes!
Best concert I ever went to.
Oh.
Madison Square Garden.
Oh, see, I saw him twice in Minneapolis. Saw him at when I was a teenager at First Avenue.
Amazing.
I saw him at Summerfest twice. I mean, this is
That was
I
it.
can't. I
That was
cannot. Like, there's not. You can't.
I got to see Prince a couple times myself. Last time was at the United Center in Chicago, one of his last tours, and Janelle Monáe was part of it. Yeah.
See, he had Justin Timberlake walk up and Gwen Stefani, and it was, he does that.
I saw him
Prince can do that.
I saw him in my teenage years.
I miss
as well.
I miss that man. Like,
epic man.
Nobody's business.
Wow. Prince being honored by
yes.
by us here on WTMJ. I'm Sandy Maxx. In today till 3 with Toya Washington, and in the studio till 2 we have entertainment journalist Ryan J. of Ryan J. Reviews. You've seen him on the Morning Blend, and he's hanging out with us. We've gotten the dish on some of the Oscar updates. We've talked about the thriving Wisconsin theater scene that we are lucky to have, but still could use your support if you have the opportunity to experience live theater. Don't miss out on that chance, because we are blessed, Milwaukee in particular, to have both a symphony and a ballet. There are a lot of other cities that envy that, that don't have the cultural appetite.
Yes, and if it hasn't occurred to you before to get out and do that on a Friday, Saturday, midweek, do it. You won't regret it.
There's also no shame in the streaming game or the film game, certainly not according to Ryan J. We were talking about, or we wanted to talk about the strikes, the writer's strike and the SAG-AFTRA strike that happened for nearly 4 months last year. Did it really have an effect on the entertainment business?
Well, yeah, and the actors' strike went on longer than that, right? And it was an insane amount. I mean, it all comes down to the follow the money, right? The bottom dollar. And it did have a major setback, but also when it affects it in a couple ways. First of all, when the studios find other ways to keep going in spite of the strike, it's a risk to the actors because, well, there are more reality shows, there are more docu-series and docudramas and documentaries. They save the money on sets and costume and makeup and all the rest of it because they're doing that kind of stuff. That's changing a little bit with the case with Bravo that Bethany Frankel is now bringing against the network Bravo for the Real Housewives franchise, which will have a chain reaction in the space of reality television, which I used to work at. I was a producer-director for Bravo and worked on Millionaire Matchmaker, Real Housewives, that kind of stuff.
What kind of impact do you think it could have? Because there are a lot of people who love their reality TV.
Is everything.
Yeah,
it is. Yeah. Well, as far as that kind of impact in terms of unionizing reality stars, it's such a complicated issue because there are reality stars who are on, like, let's say a reality competition show for one episode. What do their contracts and union fees and rights or perks look like compared to those who are on season 10 of a certain reality series, like the Real Housewives, right?
Vanderpump Rules, you can say
so
it.
much of it. Right. I do like that one.
I got sucked into Scandival. I confess.
Yeah. Oh boy. But there's a lot of that going on. But in terms of film too, we see there's going to be a little bit of a black hole that we're reaching here in terms of distribution windows. So things that had to be pushed back, movies that were not able to be finished in time because of the strike, so then finally are now returning and rushing to get finished in time to make certain deadlines or reshuffling those release dates. And so there is certainly an impact. But overall, just like how we've seen streaming change the way that we consume entertainment, especially the delight in it, at least, of not having to watch commercials in comparison to actual television. And now suddenly we have commercials back in our streaming, at least on Prime Video, unless you want to pay an extra $2.99 a month to get rid of them. So there is this constant negotiation that we're seeing happening back and forth. Or have you guys noticed, maybe not Toya recently, since you haven't been to the theater in at least a year, right? But in the big movies, sometimes we're seeing the product placement not only be so egregious in the background, but actually written into the dialogue in a certain scene. And it's akin to, the golden era of television when a talk show host would be like, and now the is brought to you by, soaps. This soap
Sure,
dish
it was
or whatever.
You'd have a whole show.
Yes.
Yeah, you'd have Chesterfields. Yeah, you'd have a whole show
Chesterfields.
sponsored by that.
Yeah. So there's a lot of, they need to make their money. They need to get their content out there. And the strikes certainly affect timing and content type.
That's an interesting angle of the content placement. I think that's a creative solution, but you don't want to be hit in the face with it.
Yeah.
And I think that I only really associate the product placement with the big blockbuster movies, because then you see the commercials for those products that are also having Deadpool or whoever in the commercial. So that way, like, oh, that's that movie that,
Sometimes they're just so bad, though, I don't even remember the movie, but I'll just remember the scene and I'll be like, I'll remember the sponsor. Maybe it's effective.
I was just going to say, it sounds like it's working.
I'm not even going to mention them right now, but certain sponsor that I know of that I'm like, why am I thinking of that? Yeah, crazy.
It sticks in your head. Well, you have a particular passion and expertise that I want to dip into about a classic film that is very beloved. I don't know what it could be, but there are ruby slippers involved. I want to ask you about some anniversaries for The Wizard of Oz that are coming up on this special year. So more with entertainment journalist Ryan J. next on WTMJ.
I know you have a great dog, right? But you know there's room for improvement. At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we can help. Our attention-based training system uses modern technology to help you better communicate with your dog, even in high distraction. When you schedule a free consultation with us, you will have the opportunity to see our training in action and meet for yourself our happy dogs off leash and under control. Contact Sit Means Sit today at 262-361-3641 or find us on the web at sitmeansitwaukesha.com to schedule your free consultation so you can have a happy, confident, and obedient dog.
Your nose is for breathing. Your mouth is for eating. And if you're breathing through your mouth, it's not because your body wants to. It's because it has to, because your nose isn't working properly. And although you've lived like this, it's no way to live, and it's having a significant impact on your life. I know you know this, and I know that taking action isn't always convenient. But at Advent, we've done all we can to make changing your life for the better as easy as possible. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula. With tens of thousands of our patients, a thorough breathing triangle evaluation, along with a simple 20-minute in-office procedure called balloon sinuplasty, has opened their nasal passages, allowing them to breathe freely through their nose for good. And there's a good chance this procedure can do the same for you. We'll help you breathe through your nose again, and it will change your life.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
St. Vincent de Paul, Milwaukee has expanded into our new 76th and Bradley Road location, where thrifters will find hundreds of bargains on everything, from clothing to furniture, electronics, home goods, and more. Our inventory is always changing, and new deals pop up every day. We are accepting donations too at our convenient drive-through donation area. Help us help others. St. Vincent de Paul at 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee is now open.
Ooh, you're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Jackson Hewitt offers you your biggest refund guaranteed or your money back, plus $100. Hurry into Jackson Hewitt today.
Get started with your no-hassle refi checkup by clicking on the blue button at Accunet.com.
I had a really strange experience today.
Strange how?
A man walked into the store who was only about 2.5 feet tall.
What?
And he was carrying a bow and arrows.
Did he sort of have a baby face?
Yes. How did you know?
Sarah, that was Cupid.
Oh!
Did he give us a thumbs up?
Yes, 3 times.
So tell us, what are the Cupid-approved gifts for Valentine's 2024?
He loved our diamond stud earrings starting at $198.
We have 186 different styles and sizes.
And we have more than 1,400 pair in stock.
And Cupid loved our $98 diamond pendant.
It looks like it's worth a lot more.
And every purchase of $298 or more includes a fabulous free travel case to safely transport all of your jewelry.
But mostly, he loved the 4-carat total weight wow diamond engagement ring for less than $4,000.
Welcome to Kessler's for Valentine's Day.
Cupid approved.
Find the Kesslers nearest you at KesslersDiamonds.com.
WTMJ, I'm Sandy Maxx with Toya Washington. We are keeping our eye on the news. It looks like the The Michigan school shooter's mother will be found guilty of manslaughter. The WTMJ newsroom is following this story. We'll have an update at 2 o'clock for you. In the meantime, we're going to talk a little bit more lighthearted with entertainment reporter Ryan J. I'm Sandy Maxx, Toya Washington in the studio with me. And Ryan, as an entertainment journalist, it's interesting to get your perspective on the actual workings of these huge red carpet awards that we see now that it's awards season. And we had some fun talking about snubs and some of the Oscar film nominees, but you have an interesting update about the inclusive criteria for some of the categories at the Academy Awards this year, because goodness knows the Golden Globes, the Hollywood Foreign Film Organization, was criticized for certainly not being inclusive on that level for their judging body. But now, what are the Oscars doing to be more inclusive?
Well, it's interesting just because I think as we look bigger picture in our nation at boards and school districts and things, and there's notions of affirmative action and stuff. Sometimes we see the arts leading the way in setting examples and breaking down barriers and glass ceilings and the rest of it. And the Oscars is doing that. They decided a few years back to change the nomination considerations for the Best Picture category. And this is the first year that it was actually implemented. So for the films to be up for eligibility consideration for Best Picture for 2024's award, they had to include 2 of these 4 criteria in diversity and inclusivity rule. 1 was on-screen representation. 2 is creative leadership behind the scenes had to have underrepresented people. Number 3 was industry access and opportunities. That's like paid internships or things like that nature of underrepresented categories of people. And then also audience development. That would be more like the marketing team must have people who are at least from a different background. That's not only women, but people of color, people of disabilities, people from the LGBTQIA plus community, the rest of it. And I think it's kind of obvious why you want to have that, and it's nice to have that in writing, because I think if you show up to a workplace and it's just a room full of people that all look the same, they tend to possibly think the same, but it can be very intimidating then to be really an odd person out and uncomfortable. I've certainly had that experience walking into different places of work throughout my career, and so creating the diversity, especially in a place that's based on storytelling like the arts, it's important to have more cooks in the kitchen, to have more different perspectives and life experiences. And we know through storytelling, it's the one surefire way that if you say to someone, you got to learn and try to imagine yourself walking in someone else's shoes. We can't really do that. But through effective storytelling, it's why you cry happy or sad tears when you're watching a movie from a character that is completely different than yours. Or I can watch a sports movie. I've never played sports a day in my life, and I'm cheering. Not when I'm watching sports on TV like my dad does, but I'm watching a movie and I'm cheering at the screen. It's rousing and it gets you. Effective storytelling builds empathy in us, we the audience, to care about each other beyond how we identify directly through skin color, gender, sexuality, all the rest of it. So
it's kind of funny. Filmmaking can open a world, and I think we usually think of transporting you to a foreign country or taking you to a different time in the universe. It doesn't always, but it opened your world. Like maybe you can connect better with your dad when you realize, oh, this is the drama of bottom of the ninth, 3 outs, or 2 outs,
rooting for that underdog.
Yeah, yes. So it can open your world in so many ways.
I think in one of the movies that comes to mind as far as opening your mind to in so many different ways, and I'm digging deep here, is What's Eating Gilbert Grape.
Yes.
I mean, you think about those on the spectrum. We talk very openly about it now, and we are familiar with it now, but that was probably the first time where it was just people then I think expose themselves to empathy and understanding more of what's outside of their room, their world, their room.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
that's a great point.
Rain Man last year, Brendan Fraser winning Best Actor portraying the morbidly obese man in The Whale.
The Whale, that was amazing.
There are a lot of things. Moonlight when that won.
Yes. So, yay, the world of film. And Academy Awards, The Wizard of Oz won for Best Music Original Song and Best Music Original Score. Still think they should have won for other things, but that was 1939 was a big year for film. We want to ask you about your knowledge of the Wizard of Oz and what you're excited about this year, because even here in Wisconsin, there are Wizard of Oz connections, and you're the man to share them. Ryan J., entertainment journalist, next on WTMJ.
Wake up with me. Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik. Tune in every Monday and Friday at 8:15 for Matzik's Morning Minute during Wisconsin's Morning News. Everything you need to know about all your favorite Wisconsin teams in just 60 seconds. Picked up by Lillard, lobs to Giannis, who thumps it down on the alley-oop. Every Monday and Friday at 8:15 during Wisconsin's Morning News.
Coaching in the arena and your jerseys hanging above you, I can turn to the players and say, guys, I swear to God, I play basketball. Just look up.
Sponsored by Holiday Automotive in Fond du Lac.
Get help for your house this Saturday from Eric Brown. The president of Siding Unlimited knows his stuff. Yes, their name is Siding, but they do so much more. Windows by Pella and others, roofing, decks. That's why they are Siding Unlimited. Eric can advise you with anything about your home's exterior. Make a point to listen and call Eric this Saturday on WTMJ's Fix-It Show. And remember why they are called Siding Unlimited. They are siding and much, much more. See sidingunlimited.com and you'll see.
Losing sleep lately? The job, the house, the headlines, or investments? How about the feeling your investment partner isn't a partner at all? They might be operating in someone's best interest, but that someone isn't you. It's time for Annex Wealth Management. It's easy. Head to annexwealth.com, click the Get Started button. We work in your best interest as a fiduciary. That commitment runs so deep, we put it in writing. Does your advisor do that? Know the difference with Annex Wealth Management. Start at annexwealth.com.
Our mission is to protect and uphold our reputation. At Semper Fi, it's the banner we all march under, because the reputation we earn and uphold belongs to all of us. And without a strong reputation in the exterior remodeling business, you're here today and gone tomorrow. And when you've earned a good reputation, that's what makes the difference in value. It's the little extra that you get for the price. And that assurance is actually what counts the most, because it means the good money you're spending with us is not going to go to waste. A roof you can rely on, with a warranty that has a backbone, Craftsman quality airtight window and door installations, brick and stone masonry that's clean and sharp, and new siding that's been known to stop traffic. And it's all backed by a team that over the last 20 years have put a lot of heart and soul into building a reputation that you can believe in. This is Brad Youngbluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semper Fi.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
I'm Sandy Maxx. She is Toya Washington. We are with you till 3. Easing on down the road with entertainment journalist Ryan J., who is an expert in all things Wizard of Oz, including jamming with the Wiz there. Mm-hmm. Why is 2024 such a big year for the Wizard of Oz, Ryan?
It is. It's the Oziest year in a long time. Oziest. And I think it's awesome because there's this new animated series, Dee and Friends in Oz, debuted just yesterday on Netflix. The Tony Award-winning Best Musical, The Wiz, finally being revived on Broadway for the first time ever. That's going to be opening April 17th. There's a national tour right now of it. I saw it 3 times during its stop in Chicago. It's phenomenal.
And did your research?
The 4th longest running Broadway show in history, Wicked, celebrated its 20th anniversary last year, is finally adapting to the big screen. Wicked, the movie Part 1, opens this November 27th. Part 2 comes out November 26th, 2025.
Wow.
But this year is the 85th anniversary of the Judy Garland MGM classic, Wizard of Oz. And as Toya mentioned previously, Oconomowoc is a claim to fame because we had an out-of-town or a press... not a press. It was a sneak preview there a couple days before the actual premiere, the world premiere in Hollywood. The day before, coincidentally, in Oconomowoc, just the day before, it was in Appleton and it was in Kenosha and Green Bay. So Oconomowoc, is the one putting all the effort into it, which
Absolutely.
I appreciate, and we're going to go with that. But
Wisconsin got
Wisconsin
the
has
first
ties.
look at the Emerald City. What a cool and what an occasion that would have been, because that's such a grandiose film.
And color on the big screen being so in its infancy at that time as well.
And it's going to be on the big screen at the Oriental Theater on February 16th, which I just think is going to be literally a magical experience.
You'll go with me?
I would love to.
Wait, I
would love
want
to.
in.
Let's go.
Come on.
Okay.
Get the aunties.
Get
We're
the
gonna
aunties.
go aunties
Yeah.
to Oz. Thank you so much, entertainment journalist Ryan J. for joining me
you.
and Toya today. I wish you an awesome day.
Thank you so much.
The WTMJ News is next.
Brewers win!
Get more from your live baseball experience with the 2024 Brewers ticket plan. On sale now. Don't miss more exclusive Brewers season seat holder rewards, like your very own batting practice session, more can't-miss action, and more access to the game you love. It's your ticket to being a VIP Brewers fan this season. Plus, you'll enjoy savings on ticket prices you can't get anywhere else. Learn more at brewers.com/ticket plans.
I'm WTMJ's Sandy Maxx. What makes senior living at Three Pillars so special? It's all about living life how you choose. Take it from my friend Bill at Three Pillars.
I've found all the sociability I need at Three Pillars. We have all kinds of activities. We have a supper club every month, movies, concerts, cards, and especially bridge, which I love to play. And so I am just as content as I can be. I really would recommend it to anybody.
Schedule a tour today at threepillars.org.
For WTMJ contest rules, visit WTMJ.com/contests.
Wake up with me. Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik. Tune in every Monday and Friday at 8:15 for Matzik's Morning Minute during Wisconsin's Morning News. Everything you need to know about all your favorite Wisconsin teams in just 60 seconds. Picked up by Lillard, lobs to Giannis, who thumps it down on the alley-oop. Every Monday and Friday at 8:15 during Wisconsin's Morning News.
Coaching in the arena and your jerseys hanging above you, I can turn to the players and say, guys, I swear to God, I play basketball. Just look up.
Sponsored by Holiday Automotive in Fond du Lac. Off to Lillard, fires up the three, and he hits it. How about that finish for the Bucks?
The Bucks are in Phoenix against the Suns, with coverage starting tonight at 8:30 on your home for the Bucks. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
Cloudy, a low of 32 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm John Merkier. The Milwaukee Common Council passed a resolution today calling for changes in how EMS crews respond to calls.
We're talking about life and death here. So especially in these life and death situations, we always have to continuously be looking for opportunities to improve the services that we're all paying for.
Alderman Lamont Westmoreland introducing the resolution after a woman in his district was found dead at a bus stop. A private ambulance crew dispatched to the call didn't see the woman after a brief drive-through of the intersection. The resolution, among other things, calls for a requirement that first responders exit their vehicles and search for those needing assistance on a call. Walworth County authorities still not sharing additional information about the person they've arrested. They say it's a person of interest in connection to a double murder in downtown Elkhorn late last week. Emerson and Gina Weingart were shot and killed at the Sports Page Bar. Gina Weingart worked there. Police say they're holding someone on unrelated charges, but they're looking into the person's possible connection to the murders. Former President Trump says he'll appeal the federal court ruling that he's not immune from prosecution on charges he tried to overturn the 2020 election. CBS News correspondent Allison Keyes.
Former President Trump's campaign says in a statement, if immunity is not granted to a president, every president who leaves office will be immediately indicted by the opposing party. Prosecuting a president for official acts violates the Constitution and threatens the bedrock of our republic.
The timing of a trial in the case could affect the November election. The FAA administrator testifying on Capitol Hill, telling lawmakers his agency is taking the issue of a door plug that blew off a Boeing passenger jet very seriously. ABC's Jay O'Brien is on Capitol Hill.
Let me stress, the safety of the flying public is our mission.
FAA Administrator Michael Whitaker telling the House Transportation Committee his agency is deeply examining the incident on an Alaska Airlines flight when the door plug of a Boeing passenger jet blew off mid-flight.
Going forward, we will have more boots on the ground, closely scrutinizing and monitoring production and manufacturing activities.
Whitaker telling lawmakers he's confident in the FAA's ability to keep the flying public safe. Jay O'Brien, ABC News, Washington.
The Brewers equipment truck is loaded and ready to head west to Arizona, but that's not the only topic of discussion today at American Family Field.
In addition to Brewers equipment being loaded Monday to send to Phoenix, Arizona for spring training, Senior VP of Communications Tyler Barnes says there won't be any more parking attendants for home games. He says the new method will be easy to use.
The parking attendants are being redeployed. They will be throughout the parking lots helping people understand the new system. There is no money exchange when you're here at the ballpark, but you do need to make sure you've either paid in advance and activated your session by entering your license plate, or you scan the QR code when you get here and you pay online.
Julian Johnson, WTMJ News.
Setting up parking ahead of games can be done on the Brewers Ballpark app. Much more on this. Brewers President of Baseball Operations Rick Schlesinger joins us on Wisconsin's Afternoon News. Time for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The S&P 500 up 3 points. The Dow right now is up 58. The NASDAQ is off 17 points. It's a great time for your retirement and investment strategy review from a fee-only fiduciary. Go to annexwealth.com, click the Get Started button today. Sports, traffic, and weather up next. Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 2:04.
This February, elevate your driving experience with Griffin Service Department, where precision meets passion. Hello, valued customers. This is Jim Griffin, and I'm thrilled to share with you an exceptional opportunity this month. Love is not only in the air, but it's also in our exclusive Valentine's Special. For just $179.95, our Valentine's Special includes oil change, tire rotation, air filter, and wiper blade replacement. But that's not all. Your car will undergo meticulous multi-point inspection, ensuring every aspect of your car is in optimal condition. Plus, we'll check the battery and heating system, guaranteeing your vehicle is prepared for the road ahead. This incredible offer is available at all 5 Griffin Service Departments. Whether you're on the north, south, or west side of town, Griffin Service Departments are ready to cater to your needs. Visit Griffin today for detailed information and restrictions. Griffin Service Department, setting the standard in automotive excellence, because your car deserves nothing but the best. Discover true automotive love at Griffin, your trusted partner on the road.
Home and auto insurance continues to get more turbulent. Here's Jeff Salasinski, VP of Insurance Operations at R&R Insurance.
Thank you, Vince. It's hard to remember a time when the home and auto insurance market was this complex. Insurance companies are getting out of the personal insurance business altogether. The cumulative effect of inflation on home repairs, auto repairs, and used cars is staggering. Higher deductibles are being applied to roofs for perils like wind and hail, meaning more out-of-pocket expense for the consumer. Insurance companies are extremely focused on writing only profitable new business and raising premiums to cover the increased cost of claims.
So, Jeff, what's the solution?
As a business insurance top 100 firm, our deep industry knowledge and our team of professionals carefully and accurately design insurance programs that protect our clients and their most valuable assets while being competitive on price. At R&R Insurance, we know home and auto insurance.
That's Jeff from R&R Insurance. Thanks for the great info, Jeff.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update.
The Milwaukee Bucks season-long 5-game West Coast road trip is finally set to come to a conclusion tonight. After a loss in Utah Sunday and struggling a bit as of late, even losing 3 of their last 4 games, the mindset and belief hasn't changed with the Bucks' 2-time MVP in Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Right now, it doesn't matter, and I hope everybody in this locker room feels the same way that I feel. It does not matter. There's so many things that we are doing right now that we are getting better.
Milwaukee is in Phoenix tonight to take on the Suns for the first of 2 matchups on the season. Tip-off is set for 9 p.m. Over to the NFL, where Commissioner Roger Goodell announced on Monday that the Philadelphia Eagles will play host to the NFL's first regular season game in Brazil. Their opponent for that game is yet to be determined. And lastly, according to Kylie McDaniel of ESPN, the Brewers are in agreement with free agent right-handed pitcher Jacob Junis. The deal, which is still pending a physical, is for a 1-year, $7 million. I'm Brandon Snide, WTMJ Sports.
Time for your Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. Hey, check this out. No delays, no slowdowns, normal freeway times, even on 43.
Traffic is sponsored by the famous Fox & Hounds restaurant near Holy Hill.
The successful Fox & Hounds and Mineshaft restaurants are hiring friendly, people-oriented servers. You'll make real cash, full or part-time, and always busy. Inquire today, start next week.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, mostly cloudy skies, a mild 32 degrees. Tomorrow, cloudy, very mild, a high of 48. Even warmer on Thursday. Breezy, a chance for showers, a high of 54. Friday, likely to break the record high. Breezy, mild, a high of 53. And on Saturday, cloudy, breezy, cooler, a high of 42 degrees. In Madison right now, sunny skies and 36. In Green Bay, cloudy skies and 35. In Waukesha, sunny and 39 degrees. I'm John Mercure, Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 2:08.
It's the middle of the day on WTMJ. Come join the conversation on the WTMJ Talk and Text line at 855-616-1620. Now here's Sandy Maxx and Toya Washington.
Good afternoon. How you doing? You are always welcome to join us in the conversation. You just heard Big Voice Guy. 855-616-1620 is our number. And Toya, it's been absolutely a pleasure anytime.
It's so much fun doing this. I enjoy this.
To visit with you. Thank you. Good. And I know a lot of folks who used to watch you on TV news are glad to hear your voice as well. So, and it's also heartening to know that you are still involved in the news, that you are coaching young talent all around the country to be accurate storytellers.
Yes.
And communicators.
Yes, and communicators, and just finding ways where we need to meet our audience, our viewers, our consumers, our community. So.
And the truth matters.
Absolutely.
And choosing stories that resonate and that are truly important matters. Mm-hmm. The police blotters always going to make it. But there are other stories in communities that deal with public safety, but that also deal with hope and positive, making a difference. So thank you for continuing to share your gift, because that's the other thing. It's like, oh, you have just such a wealth of knowledge and such a smart person. I'm glad that you've... If you are, then I am. It's called experience.
That's
called
right.
experience.
Seasoned.
But I'm glad you found an organization that says, hey, no. You've got smarts, you've got knowledge to share, and almost pay it forward. Because I think that's the other thing when you talk about being old. Like, I think,
and it's the company that gave me my start in the first place. So that's
full circle.
They rolled the dice on me straight out of college. And back in that day, you didn't roll out of college and start in Madison.
Yeah.
You know, and you certainly didn't roll out of Madison and then jump to Milwaukee. But, you know, I was as preparation and being in front of the right people at the right time.
Sometimes you make your own luck. Luck is always still part of it. But,
that's right.
But you got to have some hustle and try to make some of that luck. And talk about the stories that make a difference and resonate. Another reason that I'm excited to get to spend time with you in February is because it is Black History Month. Mm-hmm. And it's not a month designed to make people feel bad. It's a month designed to celebrate and acknowledge people's contributions that we may not be aware of. Not just because it may not necessarily be taught in school, but if you're not running in certain circles or getting exposed to certain news, then you maybe just don't know people who are devoting their lives or just doing impressive things.
And these are contributions that have not just shaped the Black community, they have shaped all of community. So this is not just Black history, this is U.S. history. So that's why I am adamant about learning beyond just the handful of icons that, you know, we all learned about in grade school and in high school.
The true historical figures, the Harriet Tubmans, the Frederick Douglasses.
Exactly, the ones that you find in the pages of your history book, obviously, but a lot of quote-unquote lesser-known names that made a huge impact, not just on social issues, but on commerce, on tourism, on, you know, our culture as a whole.
And Milwaukee in particular, we've had some really vibrant figures that have made an impact that are connected to Milwaukee. Mm-hmm. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar comes to mind. Val R. Phillips comes to mind. So we have a lot of pride in our own community. And when I was asking you, hey, do you want to talk about Black History Month? Do you want to touch on it? It's like, heck yeah. But there is one name that jumps to Milwaukeeans' mouths when I say, do you want to touch on Black History Month? How do you want to, talk about it? Or is there something that inspires you about it? And who is that name?
Judge Derek Mosley.
Absolutely. What a charismatic, energetic, and giving person who the Right Honorable Judge now works at Marquette University and continues to make a difference. And turns out...
And if you don't follow him, I'm going to say it out front.
Yes.
Follow him now. Follow him now. Because these are little digestible tidbits in nature that will hopefully inspire you to kind of dig deeper.
And even if not, appreciate what he shares. Turns out WTMJ's Greg Matzik and the Honorable Judge Derek Mosley go way back. They've been friends for a couple decades now, and Judge Mosley was a guest in the studio on Wisconsin's Afternoon News last week and had this. Just you'll get his energy if you don't know him. This is what he had to say about Black History Month.
Yeah, I like to talk about the things that you may not have heard of when it comes to Black History Month. So you mentioned Rosa Parks, and Rosa Parks is an icon when it comes to civil rights, icon in the Black community, icon in Black history. But a lot of people don't know that there was a 14-year-old girl named Claudette Colvin who did it before Rosa Parks did it. But for the fact that she was 14 years old, you would have never heard of Rosa Parks. And it's just, there's stories like that are just amazing. I just, on my way here, I just came back from giving a Black History speech out in Waukesha. And just the breadth of knowledge. I ask everybody, every time I say something, I say, did you know that was a fact? Did you know that? And a lot of people are like, no, I never heard it. Like the stat I'll use, John, is that people don't understand that blacks in America have been enslaved longer than they've been free. Think about that.
That's amazing. Even today. Yep. Wow.
Because 1619 to 1865 was slavery. 1865, that's 246 years, by the way. And then 1865 to 2024, that's 159 years.
Whoa.
So we won't actually get to the point where black people in America were free longer than enslaved until 2112. That's 88 years from now. And so I tell that fact, and people are like, what? I had no idea. But that's why we need to teach Black history.
That's Judge Derek Mosley walking the walk in Black History Month.
And I think, and here's one of the conversations that I've had with so many people about consuming and understanding the importance of where our society is and Black History Month is that, you know, and I think we all were taught in school about the people that we mentioned before, right? And I think because we see these pictures in black and white, we think that they happened so long ago. It's not true. Some of these things happened just a few short decades ago. I mean, not that many years ago. Look at your grandparents. Look at your, family. Like they were alive when we were talking about Claudette and being that 14-year-old girl. Mm-hmm. People don't understand, like they don't wrap their heads around that this is not history. This is fairly recent history.
Yeah, we have video of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. in Washington, D.C. We've got films now that are carrying on that legacy to tell you more about the many people who were part of the civil rights movement. Mm-hmm. He's certainly the figurehead. I shouldn't say figurehead. He's certainly the leader and the catalyst and of that movement. But
yes, and people see that as that's we had Martin Luther King, and then all of a sudden racism ended. No, that's not really how it worked. That's not how it's played out.
And then he was one person who had that mission, and that was one approach. Yes. And that other people were just as passionate, but were even more impatient.
Exactly. And while we're talking about Derek Mosley, one of the things, and I check him every day. Usually just every day. I sound like a cyber stalker. I'm sorry.
No,
I'm sorry. Honorable
I think
Judge
he appreciates
Mosley.
it.
But yes, I check his Facebook very frequently, but definitely every day during
February.
Yes, in February. And his post from just 6 hours ago talking about Rosie the Riveter. Everybody recognizes Rosie the Riveter,
I can see
right?
the poster
you can see
right
the poster.
now.
You're flexing, mentally you're flexing your bicep. He details the fact that there were 600,000 black Rosies who supported the war effort abroad while facing racism and segregation at home. Like, how many people knew that?
No.
I'm not sure that I knew that it was that number. I knew there were black Rosie the Riveters. Did I think it was 600,000?
I would say over 500,000? Yeah.
See, those are the nuggets where you're just like, wow. Like, we as a society, I think, not just with black history, but history overall, have done ourselves such an injustice when we don't really dig deeper than just what the limited history books teach us.
Sure.
Right? So.
Yeah. Or relying on biopics. Actually learn. And like you said, talk with your family. More insights and inspirations from Black History Month with Toya Washington on WTMJ next.
Be sure to load up on Vienna Beef hot dogs for this weekend's big football game. The official hot dog of the Milwaukee Brewers is Vienna Beef. Manufactured and produced since 1893. Available at select grocers and hot dog stands near you.
It's the last resort that comes with a grueling and painful recovery. And from what I've been told, it never really feels quite natural. A total knee replacement may make the pain you're living with eventually go away, but it opens up a Pandora's box of other possible issues. And that's why surgeons who really do care will tell you that it's a last resort. There are other surgeons who cry,
"Replace! Replace!"
But the physicians you'll find at Rejuvenex are primarily concerned with relief. And you may find out that the relief we give you helps so much so that you may not need to get that total knee replacement. This is Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenex Arthritis Clinics. Our FDA-approved pain treatments aid inflammation and lubricate your joints. And in most cases, insurance has been shown to cover the costs. At Rejuvenex, we can alleviate your pain, and that'll rejuvenate your life.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your appointment.
Hi, this is John Neal, CPA, best-selling author and founder of the Neal Group. I have some questions for you. Who does your books? Hopefully not you. There are better things for you to do in running your business. Do you trust the numbers? Good numbers are critical for making good decisions. Are you getting the advice you need to minimize your taxes and put more money in your pocket? A good advisor makes suggestions to help your business grow and minimize taxes, not just put numbers on a form. Do your calls get returned and your questions answered? Many of our new clients tell us they love our quick response time. We have helped countless businesses increase their profits and lower stress. Get the advice you want and need to grow your business and minimize taxes. If you want to get started on the road to making more money and having less stress, visit nealgroup.net right now. That's NEAL group.net. The first meeting is free to see if we can help. Again, nealgroup.net.
WTMJ, I'm Sandy Maxx with Toya Washington till 3 for the 1, 2, 3, the Jackson 5. We were talking earlier about Black History Month and how important it is, and that it also doesn't have to be heavy. I mean, honestly, hearing that music right there, I think Motown, I think culture is part of Black History Month. And
and part of our collective history.
Right. That's what I mean. Yeah. And music brings people together, and it's a chance to share. It's I just love that music is a great connector, because you look out at a crowd at a concert and it's all different faces. Usually it's all different ages. It's like, but you all have one thing in common.
You're enjoying that music.
Yeah. So it's like, can we use that as a bridge to get along better and to also be in a more comfortable space to have conversations? And
absolutely,
it's whenever you have friends of any different culture, you can always learn. And we were just enjoying the company of entertainment journalist Ryan Jay talking about going to see The Wiz live, and that there are jokes written into that Broadway musical that you can hear different pockets of people laughing because they're written for a gay crowd that will relate and understand what that humor is.
Yes.
Written for African-American crowd who will relate to what that humor is. And instead of feeling left out, I said, well, gosh, if I went to that show with you, the first thing would be, I would want to know in the intermission of, well,
why
what
was that funny
about
versus,
that?
versus that.
And I would hope that you as a friend would be comfortable enough to say, oh, well, you're never going to get it because in my culture, this is what happens.
Yeah.
This is what we grew up with.
Yes.
Like you didn't grow up with this brand of soft drink.
Exactly.
It can even be regional. Like, oh, okay, I grew up in the South. There are things, and it's like it's okay to talk about those differences as long as you're not using them to go, oh, well, you're different, and that's foreign, and I'm afraid of that.
Yes.
So that's one of the things I really like about the opportunity to learn and open your mind. And Val R. Phillips, there are a lot of people who drive by that street every day who don't know who she is.
Exactly.
And it's okay, but at some point, be curious.
Yes.
And learn.
Be curious. Be curious. And I mean, there are things that I just, I find so fascinating, and that's across culture, gender, things that I love to learn about our collective space that we call Earth, right? So I don't know. I guess I wish people had the curiosity rather than the reaction of, the reason why we're doing Black History Month, it's designed to make us feel guilty. No, it's not. No, it absolutely is not. Okay, like stop that and stop. No, I shouldn't even say this. Stop with when is White History Month? Like everything I learned, I could name 7,000 things that I learned about white history and white culture. Right? So it's like that. Please stop saying that. Please stop saying that. Please stop saying that. Okay. But overall, that natural curiosity that I have of all cultures, all creeds, I wish more people embraced it because, like, I know it sounds trite, but knowledge is power, right? Mm-hmm. So if you open your mind to that knowledge, like, you would be surprised at the things that, like, it exposes and tells you about yourself or the situation we're in, where we are politically, where we are as a society, where we are as just humans. I don't know.
And connect and help each other out, especially after the past 5 years where we were all abruptly separated and now we're all easing back into connectiveness and re-emerging. Like, it's a great time to connect and reconnect and relearn some social skills that we've lost and be open.
Absolutely.
There are some things to do to celebrate Black History Month. We were talking about Val Phillips. The Art Museum is going to be free on Val Phillips' 100th birthday on February 18th.
Oh, okay.
As a way to bring people together. Yeah.
Let's go.
And what a great Milwaukee leader.
And that is a Sunday, correct?
That is, I've got to look at my calendar.
I believe it
Isn't
is
that
Sunday.
funny?
Because I think President's Day is on the 19th, which is a Monday. Okay. I believe it's, yes.
I can do a lot of things.
But somebody write it down. 2/18.
It is a Sunday. Okay. Yes. Sunday from 10 to 5, free at the Milwaukee Art Museum.
Go to church, then go on.
Perfect. And if you don't know about Val, then you can learn about her. And she's even part of an exhibition there on site. Derek Adams, Our Time Together. So see, a very fun and social way to learn. And then another way to get to know Black History Month is Milwaukee is the location of America's Black Holocaust Museum.
Absolutely.
And it was started by the one person who survived a lynching. Mm-hmm. So there's some very profound history there to learn. And there's a performance tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. It's called The Day the Waters Came, and it's a play about Hurricane Katrina, and it's presented by Milwaukee Youth Theater. So again, using culture to bring people together to learn something, because you talk about history, it's like, and talk about doing your research and like, oh, I do have to check out a book at the library. It's like, no, you really just go.
You can experience
Yes.
it. I mean, trust me, as someone who, like, shamefully just got done saying, like, I don't get the opportunity to watch movies, and I also do not take the opportunity to sit down and read books. That sometimes for me is like the most amazing way to learn. Is I'm a visual person, so seeing it, like, that resonates with me. Find what resonates with you and learn that way. And it's, I mean, you can listen to podcasts, you can watch a documentary, you can just try it once, and then you'd be surprised at how much more you want to learn.
I agree. More with Toya Washington next on WTMJ.
Once the final whistle blows, Bucks Talk with Justin Garcia is on the air.
Let's go, baby!
Recap every Bucks game, win or lose with Bucks Talk. Get the highlights, analysis, and preview the next matchup for the Bucks on their conquest for another championship.
We've talked about this team and their clutch metrics. Fourth quarter has to be your best quarter. And this team played that way, and they've continued to do that.
It's Bucks Talk with Justin Garcia, only here on the home of the Bucks, WTMJ.
Labor shortages, retention problems. It's been a challenging time for my business. But in Wisconsin, there's 600,000 people with disabilities who are ready to work right now. They just need you to believe in them and say yes. I did.
And once you say yes, Thinkability Wisconsin will be there, providing transition and workforce support for people with disabilities and their employers to help shape a better future for all. It all starts when you say yes. Join the movement at thinkabilitywi.org.
Heart disease won't stop us. Diabetes won't slow us down. Allergies, high blood pressure, shoulder pain, cancer. Nothing will keep us from pushing Wisconsin ahead. Because with the Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network, forward progress is what we stand for. That means always pushing and always innovating. With new technologies and breakthrough treatments that make life better, whether we're sick or well. It means providing more convenience and more ways to receive medical excellence for all your health needs, for big and small. It means being there for you, our family, caring for yours. So let's keep raising the bar. Let's keep testing the limits of what medicine can do. Let's push ahead and make life here as great as it can be. Visit Freighter.com to find out how.
Since 1946, Ansay & Associates has provided insurance to help secure businesses and families throughout Wisconsin. With custom coverage and superior customer service, Ansay & Associates can provide all of your insurance needs. Visit ansay.com today and get a free consultation with one of our strategists. Or come see us in person at any of our local offices. Ansay & Associates, securing and protecting your American dream.
If you really want more,
Is that Usher? You know it. He's got a busy week, I'm guessing, this week.
He actually was featured on CBS Sunday Morning I think it was this past weekend. I don't know. I have a stack of those in my DVR.
In the DVR to watch?
Yes. So that one was fascinating.
What did you learn? I'm Sandy Maxx. She's Toya Washington, and we're leading up to the big football game.
Yes.
So producer Aaron chose appropriately Usher. What did you learn about Usher in that?
Well, it was just, I forgot I forgot how expansive his catalog is and how long he truly has been around and just how he's kind of, I don't know, it's like it's manifested this and like. He talked about. I don't want to give too much away because it was a really fascinating interview. But
that's okay. I don't know that I'll get to it or how many other. Spoiler alert! It was CBS Sunday Morning. It's now Tuesday afternoon at 2:30. So
if you don't have it on your DVR, find it.
It's probably worth watching again.
Yeah, but it just how long he had to keep it a secret that he would be headlining.
That's what I was going to say. Because this isn't just rehearsal week for him. I wonder how long. When does that process start working with production?
Was it August 11th or something like that when they announced where the next Super Bowl was going to be?
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah, you're right on that. And I actually saw the same segment, and he was talking about like how he had to keep it from his kids.
Yes, and there was
there
was code words in the house because like they didn't even want the kids to know.
They would say Utah when they were talking about the Super Bowl.
Yes.
They'd say like he'd be on the phone, and be like, oh, how's Utah coming along?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was a good interview, was it not?
It was awesome. I also love. I'm a sucker for Sunday morning, so
yes,
that was just a good thrilling.
I used to I couldn't stand it when my dad would turn that on, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so boring. And this is now it's.
I'm surprised when news sound like you.
TV.
They're very well done. Aaron, what did you learn from the Usher interview on Sunday?
Oh, just that he's a cool dude. Like,
Right?
like I don't know, he just seems so relatable and like a guy that I could just sit down and kick it with. He just came off as just a normal guy, and I thought that I like Toya
we'd
was
be
saying.
up in the pickup line together, picking up our kids from school at the same time, just having a conversation. That's what he felt like.
Exactly.
Also, I would love to know what jacket was that. What kind of jacket did he have on? It looked like a Nike hoodie type of thing, but I never could see what the brand was, and whether I'm sure it wasn't Nike. It was something that I probably can't afford. So let's just move
end
on
of story.
from that.
Yeah.
That's where the fine line between like you two want to hang out with Usher. It's like, yeah,
I ain't got Usher money.
But I'm excited to see. I always even if I'm not excited about who the talent is, I'm always excited to see the level of production because I'm a big fan of. I've been an extra on TV shows just because not the only reason, but I'm fascinated by all it takes to create a movie, a TV show, even behind the scenes here at the radio station. It's like I walk back into the engineering room and it's like, wow, all of this to keep that going,
to go back to the Wizard of Oz, the behind the curtain.
Pay
I
no
want to see,
attention.
what is going on.
So for the level of production, I saw the documentary about the halftime show. It was the one that had Snoop Dogg. It was all the original LA rap and just the set design and the people power it takes to move all of those pieces out and in, and then the group dancers.
Is that when they called 50 Cent $1.50? Is that?
I'm pretty sure,
yes.
yeah. That was a great Super Bowl show, by the way.
It was, and I don't mean to throw shade, but that took me out that day. He's not 50 Cent. He $1.50.
Well, he came in like upside down, like in the music video, and really, really quickly you realize, he's gotten older.
Yes, we all do.
But that massive amount of production where everything has to go right, and how do you rehearse that? How long do you have the stadium for to set up all of that and tear it down and make sure that the timing? There's just so much that goes into that with the producers and the rehearsals. Like, I'm
It's a
fascinated
lot. Yes.
by that. And I had the moment to do something like that on a very small scale.
Mm-hmm.
I was at the pre-game show at Super Bowl 1994. It was my first job out of college. I lived in Atlanta, and the radio station I worked with, we got to be on the sideline. It was a team of about 12 of us, including our morning show.
Mm-hmm.
And our job for the pregame show was to hustle out these huge inflatables. One of them was a huge inflatable boombox. But then the real shot was we had to hustle out and hustle back this inflatable Lombardi trophy.
Oh, my gosh.
I can't even tell you how tall it was. But so we're walking it out, and then it's got to be, strapped down.
Yep.
And what we didn't realize as we're crouched down, prepared to walk it back off the sidelines in time to clear the field for the game to start, there's pyro around us in a circle. So, da, 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 here's the Lombardi trophy.
Oh,
and
my
we're
gosh.
like,
there's things. There's
Nobody
fire.
told us about that.
I would
so-
have put my hair up had I known.
Exactly. So it was a heck of an experience. It was super fun. And one of the pre-show performers in 1994 at the brand new Georgia Dome, can you guess? If you reel back to that time? 1994. Warm it up, Chris. I'm about to.
Oh.
Crisscross.
Crisscross. Remember their clothing line? Oh,
They wore
yes,
backwards. They wore their
yes.
pants backwards.
Yes.
They were surly during rehearsal. They were not pleasant young men. I don't know where they are now, but so it brings back all these memories. But the crazy thing about being in a Super Bowl environment, even 30 years ago, so much of the hoopla, and it's this focus of all these stars and all these athletes, and it was the Bills against the Cowboys that year. And I remember seeing Joe Namath, and he was about as big around as a pencil in a huge white fluffy fur jacket. And he was just king. He was the mayor. He was walking and waving. People loved Joe Namath. I think my boyfriend got a photo of him at the time. But, these are when you had the snap cameras.
Yes.
You didn't have a cell
and
phone.
you prayed that it turned out.
You get it once, yeah. So, but I also got to meet a very famous football star at the time in 1994.
And that is?
He was an NBC broadcaster. And here came...
Oh, here we go.
And we all were like, wow.
OJ.
Hey, could we get a photo with you?
Yes. That was prior to.
And, 6 months later, the next time I saw him, he was in a white Ford Bronco. But then everybody was like, well, you met him. Did you get a creepy vibe off him? Like,
no, you're so starstruck.
He was in his element, and there was so much overstimulation, but we knew it was him. So it was like, hey, can we get a photo with you? So we got a photo, which I think producer Aaron has on our YouTube channel right now, even with the date 1/30/94, because it was an old camera.
That printed the date.
The film would print there. So it's me next to O.J. Simpson holding the NBC microphone, sharply dressed, probably had Italian shoes on, and I'm not being flippant. I mean, this is his prom. It's Super Bowl, for gosh sake. And the one thing I remembered from meeting him was just that he had so much pancake makeup on because he was doing television. So I just remember he almost looked like a wax figure because he was just so made up. But he was, he's in his element. He stopped and paused and was polite and wasn't jokey or weird or anything, but it was professional. It was like, thanks. Thanks, OJ.
So my only Super Bowl story, and we would have parties and do all that kind of stuff, but we had the opportunity to go to the Super Bowl 2018 in Minneapolis.
Home state, all right.
Yes, so it was the first, the U.S.
And
Bank
as some
state.
would joke, the only way they're going to get the Super Bowl.
Exactly.
That was for you, Packers fans.
Exactly, the only way.
So there you are.
Yes. For those who don't know, I grew up in Minnesota. I am a Vikings fan.
Oh, I didn't realize you were actually a Vikings fan.
I am a
I didn't
Vikings
mean to
fan.
make a dig.
That's okay. It's okay. I get it intentionally and unintentionally all the time.
I didn't mean to make the dig. I just didn't mean to insult you.
No, not insulted at all. I understand the, agony of defeat because it's, exactly.
Wide world of sports. So you're at the Super Bowl.
At the Super Bowl and like you say, the pre-production of everything. And now there's all these parties leading up to it. And we were get into a Wheels Up, like the private aviation company.
Ooh.
Yeah. So we got into a party the day before there. They have concerts, leading up to. I watched.
Oh, yeah. The
J-Lo,
NFL leans all the way into this.
Yes. got to see her on stage in a building that, I can't remember the name. I want to say it was the Depot, but I'm not. That might be my Madison days, and that doesn't even exist anymore. But
you saw her in a small venue.
I saw her in a small venue in a place that used to basically be a squatter, drug house, yes,
like
where
one
it
of those
was,
old,
it was you don't cross
warehouse?
this number street when you go downtown Minneapolis. As I was growing up, you don't go down there. That's why. I mean, this building had busted out windows. Oh, I wish I could remember the name of it. But
so she was truly Jenny from the block on that occasion.
And Pink performed the night before.
Oh.
Yeah. This one, she was dating baseball guy. Who was J-Lo date?
Jeter.
Yes. So she and
A-Rod.
A-Rod, yes.
Yeah.
A-Rod,
Derek
yes.
Jeter. Her.
Yeah. A-Rod, you're right. And J-Lo at this Wheels Up party that we got to go to walked right by us. And I was like, she's really short. That's the first thing that I see. This is why I can't behave right in front of people. I didn't say it out loud, but that
good.
was I was like, wow, I knew she was short, but I'm like, she really short.
Petite is what we call her.
Yeah, she's petite.
She's petite.
Vertically challenged.
Well, if you have a Super Bowl experience, you've either seen a petite star or a very well made up star who wound up making courtroom headlines later. We want to know your story. The WTMJ talk and text line is 855-616-1620. Bob from Waukesha has a Super Bowl story. That's next on WTMJ.
Jason Rose is the president CEO of AccuRite Tax and Financial Services. They have document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
I think it's very accurate to call it a partnership because it's more of a relationship that you build up over time.
And your practice has had document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems for years.
Yeah, they know what you need, they know how to help, they're able to provide suggestions on future improvements or changes.
James Imaging Systems, a 100% Wisconsin-owned and managed business technology company. Here for you today, helping you plan for the future.
It's a great deal. James Imaging is the real deal.
And Jason, the bottom line for your practice?
Keep us up and running, especially during tax season.
Keep your business up and running with document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
Meet Alan, who was diagnosed with sleep apnea.
I was what they call a mouth breather, and I would breathe at night with my mouth open.
And for about 8 years, Alan struggled with a CPAP machine. And then
I saw the Advent commercial, and I thought, well, what do you got to lose? This machine is miserable.
For most people, CPAP machines are miserable, but a simple breathing triangle solution from Advent can be life-changing.
And it really was, to me, it was amazing because I don't think I ever breathed that clear.
This is Dr. Madan Kandula. After having one of Advent's simple breathing triangle procedures, people are amazed at how freely and clearly they can breathe.
I'm happy with the procedure. I'm very glad I did it. I wish I would have done it 20 years ago. I could have avoided that machine I had to have laying next to the bed with the hose wrapped around my head.
Schedule your appointment at adventknows.com because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. AdventKnows.com. Results may vary.
Can I tell you? Okay, here's the full circle moment. Chris Stapleton performs with Justin Timberlake at the CMAs, which I was blessed to cover. And Justin Timberlake also performed the halftime show at the Super Bowl that I was at in 2018. And if you recall, they were doing a tribute to Prince. And I remember being like, I love you so much, Justin Timberlake, but please do not mess this up.
Yeah. Prince
Please
is sacred, especially halftime Super Bowl shows.
Yes.
Prince in the Rain.
Yes.
Arguably one of the very best halftime shows ever. And unflappable.
I will fight you in the street if you tell me I'm wrong on that one.
Or if anybody's telling you that you're wrong on that assessment, I want to know who they think was better. It certainly wasn't the Blues Brothers 2000.
No. That was tragic.
That was a mess.
Hot mess.
So we're sharing Super Bowl stories, and we're interested in yours. If you've been to the Super Bowl, if you've had an epic Super Bowl experience related to it. If it's a good story, we're open to that. WTMJ talk and text line 855-616-1620. I had a sideline moment in 1994 working the Super Bowl pregame of meeting O.J. Simpson. Yes, that O.J. Simpson, 5 months before he made headlines for a different reason. Toya got to enjoy the Super Bowl in 2018 in her home state. And Bob from Waukesha, somehow you were involved in the Super Bowl when it must have been in Florida. What's your story?
Yeah, it was, I think it was called Pro Player Stadium then. I was with the Miami-Dade Police Department for 29 years, and we were dispatched to One Star Island to escort Gloria Estefan and John Cicada to the facility. I can tell you that there's a gate at One Star Island, and then there is another gate at Gloria's house. And she had Dalmatians, a number of them, brown and black. And she was an incredible hostess. I mean to tell you, she put food out. She had parking. She had, you name it, she had it. She was just an incredible woman. Her home, the eaves on her home were made out of mahogany.
Wow.
And her pool bar was second to no pool bar you have ever seen.
A pool bar.
As an aside, kind of a comical part, when I pulled into her area, her residence, one of her Dalmatians scurried over to my motorcycle and picked up their leg.
No. Oops.
I swear.
I would have been mortified.
I'm anal about how clean I keep my stuff.
Uh-huh.
And the poor fellow that was cleaning cars said, "Sarge, I'll go over and clean it. I'll take care." I said, "No, don't worry about it. I'll take care of it."
Oh my! I would be mortified. Mortified.
But you certainly painted a beautiful picture of the glorious way that Gloria Estefan lives, and now we understand why you need security clearance to get in there.
Exactly.
The double gates and only the best police officers allowed. And then how far is that journey to take Gloria to the Super Bowl to perform?
It was
Bob, I think we just
miles from.
Oh no! Oh, looks like we're. Oh, unfortunately, our call just dropped with Bob. But
shoot,
what an experience! He didn't have any. I love that he was more impressed with Gloria Estefan's house than the Super Bowl itself.
Right? My husband texted me. He's like, "Hey, make sure you mention the bathrooms at the Super Bowl."
The bathrooms at the Super Bowl. What are the bathrooms at the Super Bowl like?
To mitigate this typical backup of line, not backup.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Not
that
potty
backup.
talk.
Yeah.
But so there were more women's bathrooms than men's bathrooms. My husband has never experienced this. I was in and out of the bathroom before he was from the line to the yes.
Why can't we just learn that overall? Why can't we just start designing buildings to amend that?
Yeah.
And have,
I don't know.
And have the ratio of bathrooms
at the Pink concert. I will tell you, and I mean, I'm not ashamed of it, not proud of it, but that bathroom situation was a mess this summer at AmFam Field. And just because there were so many women.
So many women.
Yes.
Right. That's the point.
That eventually I was like, I'm going into the men's. I'm done. I'm like, I can't deal with it anymore. And like 2 or 3 of them looked, 3 women, I was like, if I go in, will you go in with me? And next thing you know it, like we were all in and out. The men not too happy about it, but it was like, there's urinals on one side and then there's stalls on the other. And it was just like, you just walk head down away from, which I imagine that's what men do when they enter into a urinal situation anyway. So we were just doing bro code and
sure, you were problem solving.
Yes.
You were problem solving.
But yeah, so the bathroom situation was like, I was like, I've never experienced this in my life at the Super Bowl. Like I'm in and out of the bathroom and I can still see my husband waiting. This is amazing. And then on the way back from the bathroom, this is again, sometimes I can act right, sometimes I can't. So I'm walking, and if you recall, ABC was carrying This Is Us at the time, where they were sitting, that cast was there, because it was like another, I don't know if it was another season premiere or something, the next season was.
It's kind of like the Kentucky Derby.
Yes.
Whoever, the Millionaires Row they'll populate some of the stars of the shows they want you to watch.
So as I come out of the bathroom, I see Justin Hartley, who is on This Is Us.
Yeah.
He
and
is
not a
one
bad-looking guy, I guess.
Not a bad-looking guy. And I walk up and I'm just like, "Hi, Justin. My name's Toya. I work for an ABC affiliate." I'm like, "Do you know how much street cred I would have if I got a picture of you together?" I'm like, "That's
a good line.
Yes. And so I took a picture. There were two, and after he walked away, there were two women standing there with beer in hand. I could still see their faces staring at me with their mouths open. They're like, "You are my shero," is what one of them said. They're like, "How did you do that?" And I was like, "I don't know, but I'm favoriting this right now." And I walked away.
Super Bowl stories. Share yours on the WTMJ Talk and Text line 855-616-1620.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Nagging pain lasting for months, difficulty performing everyday tasks, not moving like you'd like, it's time to see the doctor. And I recommend Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Anytime I've needed care, the appointments are timely, no waiting weeks to be seen, and no pressure to have surgery. It's about getting the right diagnosis and choosing a treatment plan that fits your life. No question where I turn if I'm injured again. The experts in care at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. It's orthowisconsin.com.
When a new baby is added to the mix, saving money becomes a real priority. Shopping at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores can help. With an abundance of baby clothing and toys, all thrift store priced at pennies on the dollar. You'll spend a little to get a lot. Find great deals on gently used baby clothes and toys at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield and 23rd and Lincoln in Milwaukee.
Ooh, you're gonna love it. St. Vincent de Paul.
Outdoor living is a cherished experience here, especially in the warm season. Outdoor Living Unlimited is a local family-owned company that will revolutionize outdoor living at your home. Visualize your home and yard with an in-ground pool, screen room, pergola, patio, pavers, deck, even an outdoor kitchen. Get with Outdoor Living Unlimited and put that dream into action. The honest, reliable artists and craftsmen will be honored to work with you. OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
It's David Nason, your personal inspection pro from WTMJ's The Fix-It Show. I'm with my go-to basement repair guy, Chris Mancuso of Accurate Basement Repair. This is the team I personally recommend for leaky or cracked basements.
Wow, thanks, David. Our team at Accurate Basement Repair has been fixing leaky and cracked basements for the Fix-It listeners for over 20 years.
That's great, Chris. For more information about how to schedule a free inspection and estimate, check out AccurateBasementRepair.com because they're not just good, they're accurate.
If you've been injured, let our team help get you back in the game. Gruber Law Offices, a proud partner of the Milwaukee Bucks. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Steve and Ashley heard our radio ads over the years, and when it came time to buy their first home, clicked on the blue button. One of our senior loan consultants, Brad, sent them a credit-verified pre-approval the same day and then upgraded to a rock-solid, fully verified and guaranteed pre-approval shortly thereafter. They made a couple offers without success, and then Brad told them about AccuNet's new property-specific pre-approval, where we might be able to include those magic words, no appraisal required. When they wrote their next offer, several $1,000s over asking to make sure someone else didn't end up sleeping in their dream home, their property-specific rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval included that most powerful phrase, no appraisal required, and the sellers picked Steve and Ashley's offer over several others. If you think all mortgage lenders and pre-approvals are the same, think again. Go with a local mortgage lender that has the tools and know-how to help you win and save money too. Click on the blue button today at accunet.com.
The sound of one of the best Super Bowl halftime shows, Tom Petty, according to the according to the WTMJ talking text line, 855-616-1620 from 608. Tom Petty was awesome. Sandy Maxx, Toya Washington, just before we get into the 3 o'clock news, wrapping up some Super Bowl stories and excitement. We were talking about how much of an impact and a memory for me, Prince performing unstoppably in the rain. Didn't care.
Yes, didn't care. Didn't care. There was, I can't remember where I saw it, and of course I'll get it wrong, but there was I don't know if it wasn't a documentary, but a whole entire story or half an hour devoted to just the production of that show, what happened, it was like one of the things that he said, it was just like, can we make it storm harder? Like he was like
we're going to do it.
I don't
Let's
care.
do it.
We're doing it. And I have to correct myself because, I'm a journalist. This Is Us was on NBC, not ABC.
Oh.
My husband texted me. He was like, you're wrong.
Oh my God. But I like it. The journalistic integrity.
That's right.
If you're going to do it right.
And because the bathroom line was different because there were probably fewer women than men at the Super Bowl. But I'm almost sure there were more men than women at the Super Bowl. But regardless, I got in another bathroom.
I would say regardless,
no time flat.
they organized it well.
Yes.
Another suggestion from the WTMJ talk and text line for incredible halftime shows, Michael Jackson.
That was.
And especially at that time,
yes,
for him to appear at one end of the stadium and then at the other.
Yes. The magic.
We didn't have the digital technology that we have now.
Exactly.
Where you go, they just did it that way.
Mm-hmm.
They just fixed that in post or whatever.
Yeah. Nope. Yeah, that was a good one too.
And so
Madonna, that was another. I loved that halftime
Did you?
show. I did, and I don't know. Maybe some of it was because they had the whole, like choir and band, and that was a fun one.
I like it more.
Watch.
Yeah, I'm giving you that look because I really want to like her, and I like a lot of her music, but like she comes across kind of obnoxious.
Yeah,
and not in like the proud, accomplished way. Just in and she's always been that like, oh, you will pay attention to me.
Yes,
she's always had that edge to her. So, hey, nothing's changed. It just still doesn't like vibe with me. But
that was a good show.
Yeah, I would say it certainly wasn't anything to be embarrassed by.
Beyonce's was good too.
Yeah,
that was a good one.
I'm like the only person who enjoyed the Coldplay, the good vibes and the happy energy. I know. I really enjoyed it.
I'm sorry, I forgot that they had performed.
See, it's quite all right. It's quite all right. You've got U2, you've got Paul McCartney. These are just the ones off the top of my head that I remember and I like. Didn't the Who rock it one year?
I don't remember that one.
Yeah. Yeah. So see, I'm more of that classic rock gal.
Mm-hmm.
But they've got to evolve and it's all good. Right. And I was very impressed by last year by Rihanna.
Yes, that was a good
very
one
impressed.
too. That was a good one too.
And again, I watched for the production value. And then it was Lady Gaga in 2017 because she was in Houston and that was when the and the drones.
Yes.
Okay, so I guess I'm watching. I guess Usher is going to have my attention because I want to see it. Mm-hmm. And Usher even said in a recent interview that I just saw that he's very excited. And as you were saying, he's been rehearsing since August. This is it. This is your Michael moment. So, like we talked about Michael Jackson and the halftime show, this really means something to him. So, I will not see you until after the really big game. So, I wish you a happy Super Bowl viewing experience. But I'm delighted that you will be back in the studio with me next Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Fat Tuesday.
Fat Tuesday.
I think we're going to have some fun.
All right. I'm going to find my purple and red and green, right? Are those the colors?
Purple, gold, and green.
Purple, gold, and green. Thank you.
That's okay. You do you. We're not actually in New Orleans. It's
my
okay.
husband says that to me all the time. Girl, you do you.
I will probably have already had a punchki or two. I'm planning on going to the Polish Heritage Center in the morning to get a little fueled up. But I really look forward to hanging out with you again and talking hot topics, lifestyle topics, and news, but also having some fun.
All right.
Thank you
I look
so
forward to
much.
It. Thanks for having me.
WTMJ News is next.
Hey, Vince Vitrano.
And Eric Bilstead here from Wisconsin's Morning News.
Join us all week long. We're going to be giving away Barry Manilow tickets to the show coming up in Milwaukee at Fiserv Forum.
Looks like we made it.
Saturday, August 3rd is the show.
It's a night of singing along to your favorite tunes with the man himself. We'll be giving tickets away every day. Just be sure you're listening to Wisconsin's Morning News.
We'll do it all week right here on WTMJ. The show's on 6 to 9 every morning. It's Barry Manilow at Fiserv Forum on Saturday, August 3rd.
988 Wisconsin.